Oh, God damn it. All right.
You broke it again.
Well, we're live, folks. I'm going to take it one more time so y'all can enjoy the lovely tones of our good friend Caucasian Sasquatch. And then we'll get on with the rest of the show. I'm all over the place today.
Save the rat. Full screen.
Well, I say every day it's a getting closer to taking a bath with my fucking toaster.
That is awesome.
Okay.
Worth it. Worth it.
Okay. Welcome,
Love it.
everybody, to the 52nd episode of Screaming into the Void, where we talk about whatever the hell we feel like, and apparently we're amateurs pretending to be professionals, and by we I mean me. My name is Samuel the Infamous, and
Wait,
with
when
me,
did this become 57?
52nd.
Oh, 52nd. Okay, never mind. I was like, wait.
Sorry, I guess I didn't enunciate that very well. No, we still got 5 episodes to go before it's 57.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. It hasn't been 2 months since episode 50.
Yeah. So, anyway, my name's Samuel the Infamous. Welcome. With me is my my co-hosts, the Hijabi Gamer.
Hello. Peace all. What's up? It's Saturday.
And Ryan from Legion Games 2076.
Whoa, wait. I gotta show off because for Thug McCoy made a t-shirt for me and I bought it off of this thing. You can't really see it very well, but it says it's a corpus thing. It's a corpus thing.
I don't think anybody understands.
I mean, Carrie probably does at this point. So
that's true.
Yeah, we've got Kohai telling people to smash the like button. Much appreciated. Also, smash the like button. Carrie is latent gay. Zillage, digging the profile pic, buddy. And yeah, it sometimes does. Why does it sound like there's an airplane? Hi Beak, good to see you. We are back in fine form today. As you can see, I am on top of shit. Wasn't late at all. Everything went smoothly at the top of the show. It did misclick like 6 fucking times.
What?
None of that happened.
Hold on. Back up. What about an airplane?
Nothing. I don't know. There was this weird sound that sounded like there was an airplane coming through my headphones here. So I was just like, what the hell?
Are you drinking?
No, there was some weird fucking noise in the back of my headphones. It was, yeah. Don't call me Gary Zillage. Fuck you.
Wow.
He's older than I am. I'm not a boomer. I just act like one today.
Your whole entire intro completely disagrees.
Yeah, I know. Kat, your audio is coming in and out.
Okay, now is it better?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. The mute. I hit the mute. Again. I will totally agree with you that you were on time. Everything went perfectly, but I'm a very strong. I mean, I'm a corpus sympathizer, so I expect a bribe and profit to be made out of this whole thing.
Well, I don't get paid for this either, so we'll see how that goes. Top of the news for those of you who do not know. First of all, happy Pride Month. As you can see, I am displaying my Pride flag in the background and on my avatar. And also, as we learned last week, Mike Pence decided to throw his hat into the ring as far as the presidential candidacy goes. And because he did that, and because, he's got about as much chance of winning as I do, I'm joining the party.
Can I run as your vice president? You can use me as your diversity hire.
Yeah, we'll talk. But yeah, I am running for president. I'm not going to win, but it's out there. I'm putting shit out there. We mentioned this last night on Abyssal Musings and also on Legion Talk, because fuck it, why not? Seriously, how much worse than the other guys could I be?
So. My cat is not even worse than them.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so Ryan dropped out. He's having some computer issues. He'll be back. Chinley, yeah, you heard it too, right? It sounded like some kind of like, I don't know, turbine or something going right past my head. There we go.
I'm having a day too.
Yeah. So
It's gonna be a day.
it is. It is. We may have some other people joining us at some point during the show. We shall see.
Yay.
And then also in the future, there are some people I will be reaching out to in terms of possibly having some newer guests on. Got one in mind that we discussed briefly with in chat. I jumped onto Adam the Renaissance Nerd stream on Monday night,
Mm-hmm.
and some people in the chat there had expressed interest in possibly being on the show. So I will be reaching out to them at some point, and we'll see if we can't make something work. And so yeah, we're looking at growing the show. Also, I believe we are simulcasting.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Lots of simulcasting.
Yeah. So, and as far as I'm concerned, from here on out, that just should be the way we're doing it.
I would agree for all the streams that I'm going to be doing too. I think it's just smart.
Yeah.
It brings in more viewers. It gets more eyes on us, regardless of whose channel it's on.
Yeah.
I think it's better for the algorithm. And I mean, yeah, I think it's a good idea all the way around.
I've seen a jump in subs from it myself. You know,
have you? That's good.
Yeah. You know, people see me see us simulcasting this show onto other channels, or you know, from other channels onto this one, and they're just like, hey, these other people that I haven't run across before, I kind of like what they're saying. I'm gonna go check them out. So
the only question I have is, Ryan, you said, are you on Twitter as well? Is it just the audio, or do they see the video as well?
No, they can see both.
Oh, okay. Can you tell me after the stream how you do this? Because I'd love to do that too.
Oh yeah, you just link your Twitter to it through Streamlabs.
Streamlabs?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so it's not StreamYard, it's Streamlabs.
Oh, sorry, Streamlabs. StreamYards. See, I told you I haven't had any caffeine.
So StreamYard, okay.
He's tripping over that 8-foot tongue.
Yeah. Don't make. Well, Nomi's not here, so I won't whip it out.
You know what? That is a damn good point. Nomi is not here.
Oh my God! Is that your real tongue?
Yes, it is.
That is creepy.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
And kind of cool at the same time. Ridiculously cool.
Yeah. So you know, and we might get a drop by from Naomi. We'll see how that goes. She is at the Dallas Fan Expo at the moment, so she's kind of tied up. She's kind of busy, having a good time and all that stuff. Which, by the way, Naomi, if you're listening, we fully expect details, pictures, you know, stories, all of that stuff when you return.
Yeah.
So. We didn't actually start early, buddy. We were about 10 minutes late because he was tied up doing something that it wasn't important, but I kept doing it anyway. So
I'm wearing the shirt.
Yeah, Carrie. She's got the shirt that she said that she
my
would
new
wear for
favorite
you,
T-shirt.
so.
I'm gonna wear it all of the time now.
Well, you know, wash it once in a while.
You know, Kat, you really ought to do a merch shop, and you really ought to do like crossovers, like you know, like for Star Wars and like what is Warframe? That's the Corpus. Yeah, say like may the Corpus be with you or something. You know, like just go nuts. Like I think people would buy that. I don't know. You love it so much. I figure you should get something out of it.
I think with Corpus, you might run into some copyright issues with the people who make Warframe, but
well, the word Corpus is not actually.
Yeah, it's the images that are gonna get you.
Yeah.
Not the actual wording. Like who tried to what?
Oh, it was Drunk 3PO, wasn't he? He did the Welcome to the Rebellion thing, and they tried to take him down over that, take down his merch store.
No, that was over the Gina Carano stuff. They took down Gina Carano because she's hateful.
Right, but
supposedly.
there was I think there was an issue with those Welcome to the Rebellion merch stuff that he put out right after that too.
If that's true, I don't know because obviously Nine Line Apparel did a Welcome to the Rebellion. I kind of feel like that. I,
No, I
I
think he
don't.
won. He
Oh,
won that
did he? I
dispute,
don't. I
but
have
yeah,
no
they
idea.
I
I
think
don't.
they
I don't. I thought it was over like hateful conduct.
yeah, no, I think Teespring dropped him and he had to like do something else
Yeah, I
to
thought
sell
that
his
was
merch.
over hateful conduct because of the Gina Carano shirt. They had her face on it.
Well, I mean, even if you were
Yeah.
to put this one right,
I'm just that's what I thought. I mean I don't
Mhm.
know. I mean I could probably ask, but it's like
well, I mean, for example, if I were to get rid of the image from the corpus logo, and just put the word, it's a corpus thing, you wouldn't understand. Just those words alone.
yeah, it should be
There's
fine.
nothing that they could
Right.
copyright strike me on. The word corpus, in fact, it's a pain in the butt. You have to say Warframe corpus, or you'll get a lot of Corpus Christi stuff.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
that's
have a lot
true.
of,
It is Latin for body.
yeah.
Mm.
It's a body thing you wouldn't understand.
Oh jeez.
Should get some like fake abs like spray painted underneath that.
Ooh, the hijab
The brojabi.
the brojabi gamer, dude.
That one's awesome. That one,
See?
yeah, that would be cool.
See the fact that you replace the face and all that stuff, yeah, you can't copyright that. You can do it. I say go nuts, man. I'm all about, just like the hell with all these idiots. That's just me.
Honestly, I wanted a shirt, and I don't know where, because everyone keeps calling us this. I wanted a shirt that's a toxic fan. Maybe it's just me, but they keep calling us toxic fans. So it's like I wanted to embrace it and be like, toxic fan.
Well, that's just they've called us that for a long time because
Yeah, I know. That's why it was a
because we
while ago
don't
I thought of it.
yeah, we don't bow down to everything that they love. Because people have differences of opinions.
Yeah.
Howdy, Corey. Welcome.
But that is an idea. Maybe I'll think of it. The thing is, I didn't come into this with the goal of. I never really went into YouTube with this goal in mind. I was just, I don't want video games being destroyed. And now, Halo, they're making a second season.
Are they seriously going to go through with that?
I'm hoping maybe the writer's strike will make them, conveniently be incapable of doing it.
Wow. Good luck with that there, dudes.
Like they don't need writers anymore. They got AI.
That's true.
So, as a matter of fact, they haven't needed writers for a long time because guess who's been doing most of the outlines?
The AI.
Yeah.
Oh no, I've messed around with ChatGPT, and I can tell you, for example, the Destiny 2 storyline, definitely, it was either stolen off of fanfic.net and then written with an AI.
I believe that. I absolutely do. Yeah. I believe that the originality has gone out to the window. That's why well, I mean, look what we just reviewed last night, the wonderful Little Mermaid trailer movie. And we didn't even really go through that much of it. And I mean, who here really left thinking that was a phenomenal movie?
What?
I mean,
no.
And I watched the whole damn thing. I watched all 2 hours and 8 minutes of it. It's like 15 with like credits or whatever. But
it's funny. I had a conversation with Amira last night. Apparently, she went to see it yesterday too.
Oh God!
Why did she really?
She has things to say.
Oh wow! I would be interested to know what she has to say on that one.
Yeah, she wouldn't tell me exactly what she's going to say because I think she wants to do that on stream. So we're going to find out what she thought of that movie.
Y'all doing something tonight?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, I didn't think anybody would be dumb enough to fall for any of this stuff. But then, like I said, I had a whole issue with a bunch of Destiny 2 people, and this guy's like all into it because he's black and gay, and oh my God, the story of Destiny 2 is wonderful. I'm like, dude, really? I could not believe that there would anybody who would fall for that whole gimmick of, see, they look like me on screen. That's why I love it instead of good story.
Yeah, I don't know. There's so much of that garbage. But we, I mean, we do we discuss Hollywood and their idiocy like
Mhm.
pretty constantly. The thing I'm going to bring up here on screen is from a few days ago. So it's not like brand new. It looks like it was published on June 5th.
Okay.
Article that I saw the other day has nothing to do with Hollywood. Federal loneliness advisory threatens to destroy freedom by occupying private life. This is from the Federalist. Yeah. So apparently, the Surgeon General has released an 81-page advisory titled "Our Epidemic of Loneliness and Isolation," which he uses to justify the need for further federal intrusion into private citizens' lives.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
What I said. Yeah.
What the?
Yeah. What the?
No, because I admit it, I am by nature an introvert. I don't struggle. I can go for days without look, the government has none of its business, even if to get involved in my life.
I agree.
But
I agree. It doesn't.
You. The government is your friend.
Yeah.
So let's see. It says here, its sprawling plan to address social isolation as a public health crisis, which, by the way, social isolation as a public health crisis was invented and carried out by the government, but whatever.
Yeah.
Includes substantial elements of surveillance, mandatory "quote unquote" diversity, equity, inclusion policies, and federal control of local infrastructure and organizations, all beckoning with love language about the need for more caring and outreach.
No, you want a solution to all this problem? First of all, why is everything a health emergency? Everything has become a health emergency. But you know what? Get a cat.
I got two.
Or a dog.
Well, see, that's the thing, Kat. This isn't about loneliness at all.
No, it's not. It's not
at all. It's got nothing to do with people being lonely. They don't give a shit how lonely you are. This is about control, like specifically, like this bit here: federal control of local infrastructure and organizations. That is superseding states' rights and municipal rights.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That is unconstitutional and illegal. But they sure gonna try.
Oh God! Wait a minute! I thought Joe Biden was the president who cared about freedom and was fighting for freedom.
Well, this doesn't come from Joe Biden. This comes from the Surgeon General. But yeah, same administration.
Yes.
I don't think Joe Biden gives a fuck about anything but ice cream. If I'm being honest, I don't. I think the Joe Biden that we see in public is not the real Joe Biden. I think that they, there's stuff going on there too. But yeah, this is just more fingers in the pies, in everybody's pies. Like, right up their poopers.
Yep.
And this is an opinion piece, to be fair. But it does have a link to the 81-page advisory, which is, well, it's long. So and all that. And actually, what I should do, I haven't done yet. What I should do is I will post a link to that in the description after the show, so that anybody wants to go read it and check it out can. But this is just another example of this 1984 shit we're living through.
Mm-hmm. They love it. It's the government is your best friend, and it's like, no, they're not. They're the scum of the earth. They are the biggest leeches on the planet. They leech off your tax dollars every single day, and they don't, honestly, when they say pay their fair share, they're the ones cutting backroom deals so they can pay, get large handouts and pay as little taxes on them as possible. Look at Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi and her look at her stock portfolio. She seems to do. Her and her husband seem to do extraordinarily well.
Yeah. So I just wanted to bring that to y'all's attention that they are doing everything they can to get past the protections from the government that the average citizen in the U.S. enjoys.
Yeah, well,
You know, just be aware. That's a thing. It's coming down the pike.
Mhm.
he's
I
not.
will link both this article and the 81 page memo to the description after the show here.
Yeah,
But
not happening.
we also have
Oh no.
so how do y'all feel about blasphemy?
How do I feel about what?
What do you mean?
Blasphemy? I mean, I
Yeah.
guess I'm not a fan of it. I mean, but
You know, in general.
I mean, you can't really say judge fully about blasphemy without. I mean, you know what? I don't give a shit.
Hell.
I care about freedom of speech. You say whatever the hell you want to say. If I get butthurt about it, it's my problem. Freedom of speech, hate speech is freedom of speech. Fine. Blaspheme all you want. I don't have to listen to you.
well, I mean, I'm talking about in the sense of me. I'm not a huge fan of it, but other people. I mean, freedom of speech. Yeah, go nuts. Get wild yourself.
Well, I bring it up
Oh,
because
right.
apparently the gods
yeah.
are not a fan.
No, they're not a fan of holding blasphemous things in on sacred ground. Samuel, you and I both know a certain individual who got massive backlash over this.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, but she did. Again, she's entitled to say what she likes, and she is absolutely entitled to believe what she likes. But she did go out of her way to put out a very inflammatory video about it.
Yep. No, she did.
But on top of that, I'll be honest, Richard Review Tech in particular, dude was coming off pathetic. I mean, even if he did, I didn't even listen to half of what he said because it just, no matter what he said, it didn't change the fact that he sounded pathetic and desperate.
He is pathetic, though. He is pathetic.
Yeah, but this was a new low for him. It was like, just, wow.
Yeah, he's another one of those people that chases clout just for the sake of chasing clout. He bothers me.
Yeah,
he tries to act like a nice guy, and then he does crap like this.
So this particular church, the pastor there had been apparently saying some things that were contrary to, biblical teachings and that sort of thing. Particularly, I mean, it was a very pride-oriented church anyway. And by pride, I mean, the rainbow in the streets variety. But I forget exactly what it was that he actually said. Give me just a second. I think Larry sent. I mean, just prior to this happening, but he said something I think very specifically, and it wasn't actually about pride exactly, but yeah. No, I guess. Oh yeah, okay. All right, I guess the pastor said he didn't believe that the Bible was dictated by God.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
So what you're seeing on the screen here, folks, if you haven't seen it already, is the steeple of the church in question engulfed in an inferno after it's been struck by lightning. Now, nobody was hurt.
I think it was within like 30 minutes too.
Yeah, nobody was
insane.
Nobody was hurt. There were no injuries. Nobody died, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, absolutely.
If I were a man who attended such an institution, I might consider this a warning shot.
I
don't necessarily, but anyway, we're gonna watch this a little bit here because this steeple. Well, you'll see.
Yeah.
Whoa! Oh
Like-
god damn!
like it was butter.
Yeah.
Just
And
went right through it.
yeah, it
You know what?
that's something else. I'll tell you what.
I didn't see that. I just had heard about it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Cat's not
it's-
happy.
No.
I mean, that's entirely possible. And I actually got a little bit of flack too, because I was just like, yeah, I mean, I could see this as a warning shot if I were, a Christian. That's how I would see it. And they were just like, well, how can you say that? I was like, look, the God of Abraham is not the only God that uses thunderbolts to teach people a lesson. This is kind of like a common thing with them.
Mhm.
I was like, it ain't happened in a while as far as anybody knows, but that doesn't mean it's like, so yeah, if I were like Zeus would do it, Thor would do it.
Mhm. Yeah, it's not a it kind of comes from a lot of different religions around the world. And of course people of course lose sight of that because we live in an age where that obviously intersectional feminism and identity politics and all that stuff has turned into their own sorts of religions. Even to the point of a cult, which of course every religion has a cultish aspect to it. Because obviously if you look at like what Westboro Baptist Church used to be was very cultish. They would protest dead soldiers and all that crazy stuff.
Yeah, they protested everything. Those guys,
Everything, yeah,
fucking
yeah.
lunatics. But
Mhm.
they're
Yeah.
gone now. The few remaining members have since gone their own separate ways.
Yeah.
They're not really a thing anymore to worry about. But yeah, they used to show up at funerals and fucking protest people because they were gay, even though it was like a military funeral.
Mhm.
Yeah, that I don't agree with.
Yeah, they were awful people.
Chen Li, it's possible that it did have a lightning rod. If that's the case, then this would be highly unusual indeed. But yeah, most steeples do have lightning rods, as far as
Yeah.
as far as I know.
Mhm. Yeah.
For kind of precisely this reason.
No, Midnight Horror, the Bible and the Quran do not say that. They say, the one underneath it, they say a man does not lie with a man like they lie with a woman, sort of thing. It's not that they use that specific word. It is even described. It says in the Quran, a man cannot lie with a man like they lie with a woman.
Mhm.
And the thing I think that really frustrates me in particular is people don't understand. They think that religion is picking and choosing. And at least in the case of being a Muslim and a practicing Muslim, you can't, it's, as my father often put it, it's not like a buffet table. You can't go there and pick whatever you want, because you really think about it. The first thing I would drop, if I could drop whatever I want, it would be fasting Ramadan. So I seriously.
I know. We remember you when you were going through that, like 6 o'clock. What time?
It was like 7:30.
Like 7:30 would hit, and you'd be like, "I get to eat. I'll be right back."
Yes.
You go running off.
I mean, wearing the hijab is very annoying, especially during the summer. But I can't pick and choose, and Islam isn't easy, and a lot of the things that are haram aren't things you don't like. They're things you like. It's like, if you I consider being like on a diet.
Hey, Alf, what's up?
Yeah.
You don't want a hangry cat. I'll tell you what.
Oh God, but if you can eat whatever, it's sort of like a diet, right? If I could eat whatever I want, I would be eating cupcakes, whipped cream, and cookies all day, ice cream every day. I'd be the size of a blob. But
just for the record, we've seen you eat
whipped cream, but I don't eat 5 or 6.
Sat out for 3 days.
Yeah, but I don't eat it multiple cans a day.
I know. I'm just goofing on you.
So that's the same thing with religion. It's meant to change you and to limit you. I don't know, because some people, well, now Muslims are in the news. Apparently, we're back to being on the America's Most Unwanted.
Nah, it started in Canada actually, but yeah.
No, it's also in, I think, California. One of the
darn Canadians.
Yeah, those God.
But it was over that teacher, the audio that got out about how she was telling Muslim students that how dare they just not show up to school on Pride days.
Yeah, what is
It's like
wrong with you?
these Pride students,
Why?
your your Ramadan celebration, or whatever it was that she mentioned, and she's like they respect because they respected your culture and you can't respect that. I was like, I don't understand how Islam works.
Plus there's a difference between respecting and forcing. I don't go on and I don't tell you guys you have to convert to Islam and my religion is the one true faith. No, I just don't want. I just want to be treated
Well,
like everybody else.
I also don't think that these kids that were getting yelled at because she told them, if you cannot get on board with this, you do not belong in Canada.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right? Which is fucked up. I mean, I'd be willing to bet most of those kids were probably born in Canada. They're as Canadian as she is,
Born
you
in
know.
America.
But I'd also probably guess that if kids who are really into, rainbows and pride and shit, which eh, isn't as common as the media would have you believe in the first place, but even if they were, um, I don't think that the Muslim kids would have a problem if those pride kids decided to skip the days when they were doing Muslim oriented stuff.
On top of that, hey, I have a confession to make. When I was in school, in elementary school, my parents didn't let me go to school on Halloween when they did the Halloween stuff because they didn't like Halloween. Yeah, my dad didn't like Halloween, and so we weren't allowed to trick or treat, and I did not go to school or wear a costume for Halloween.
There you go.
Yeah.
So am I not allowed to live in this country?
I don't
Even
see
though I was
the issue.
born?
See,
Or
that's the
if-
thing. I'm not a psychotic
I'm
teacher,
joking.
though, who's
I'm
saying, hey,
joking.
get out because you don't embody the ideals of Halloween. First of all, like, whatever, like we
Mhm.
have freedom of expression, freedom of religion, free, all of those things. I mean, Canada doesn't have those technically, but
No, Canada's barking up its own
Right.
its own weird tree.
But I guess my point is, like, how dare this bitch tell these kids that they don't belong in Canada, that they aren't worthy of being Canadians?
No,
know?
and on top of that, you're telling it to a bunch of kids.
Didn't they?
who-
Didn't they do this shit years ago with the First Nation kids?
I
Like
don't
you need to
know.
abandon who you are and assimilate. And now they're of course feeling all fucking bad about it and shit. But yeah, they used to put them in fucking schools and like beat the Indian out of them.
Jeez.
I mean, it was a big deal. Like, people are talking about now, oh well, we gotta feel bad about all that stuff. But this is the same shit.
Oh yeah, history
This is
has
the
an
same
awful way
behavior.
of repeating itself.
Yeah.
It's just a different religion imposing their crap on somebody else. And unfortunately, every religion has done that. And I will sit here and I will actively say that yes, even Christianity has done it. But we've also been the ones to be oppressed. So it's the new religion of identity politics is going to impose its garbage on everybody else.
Well,
And
speaking of, no, Shadow, you can't because they got every right to be as gay as they want to be.
yeah, go nuts.
That
As long
ain't
as you're-
that ain't it. That, you don't have to fucking like it, but you don't get to change somebody, just like they don't get to change you.
I think he's being facetious again.
Yeah,
but
it's Shadow being Shadow.
Yeah.
I think he's trying to because well look that was a thing that people once thought, just like they thought shock therapy was a good idea for like schizophrenics.
Mhm.
Turns out maybe zapping somebody's brain isn't the best way to try to help them. Now I don't think
It's speaking as somebody who may or may not have experienced that. It does clear the mind.
Okay.
Okay.
Wonderfully. I'm not
Um,
saying that it's great for you in the long term. It's really not. You don't want extended exposure to that shit.
Yeah.
But on occasion, yeah, it can help straighten things out for at least temporarily.
All right. Well, that's fair.
I don't know. The thing is, the way Ian speaks on Tim Pool kind of makes me like, yeah, no.
I can't stand.
Oh, I can't stand him. I can't. But
Stand
sometimes he
it-
says some of the
Tim
dumbest
Pool.
stuff.
Freaking stuff. they're just like, I'm just like, ugh. I get so over them sometimes. They
Yeah.
haven't. They've been laying low after they got lambasted for quite some time.
Sorry.
Oh no!
I don't even know how to respond to that. That is hilarious, Grimspar.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shadow, get on that.
No, I saw a really great image that somebody posted where it was like all these caricatures of woke. Then it had a Muslim and a Christian from the oh god, it starts with a C.
From
The
from
Crusades.
the Crusades. That was me.
No, I saw it in a not.
Oh, did you? Yeah, I
saw it in
posted
another one.
I posted it in the chat because the Muslim and the Christians, obviously during the Crusades, were fighting each other, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it shows like modern identity politics, you know, and the mob that follows that now, and it's like, and the Muslim, they're, you know, the Christian and the Muslim are just sitting there, and the Muslim's like together, and the Christian's like together. It's just like their face.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's pretty good.
It's a good image. Hey Lou, nothing too serious. We were just telling Shadow that he maybe needs to go get gay to beat gay. You know, fight fire with fire kind of thing, but in this case it's fight gay with gay. No, I mean, I don't know. That was probably one of my dumber things that I've said today. So take that as you will or disregard. I'm fine either way.
Shadow got gay.
He did a little bit. Although we did this. I put this up for a second. This was not about Cat. We did in fact get Maester Chow, one of the founding members of this show, commissioned this from our resident memer Kohai Masochist. For Shadow specifically, but also in general terms of somebody's beating a dead horse. But in this case, I just brought it up because it makes him look super gay.
Hey, Clue.
Hey, Clue, what's up, buddy?
You came to my live stream for a little bit too.
Nice.
What's up, brother?
Oh, by the way,
I thought he said he wasn't working today. How come he's not here?
I don't know. He's got the fucking. He's got the link, same as everybody else.
I did play that Republic Commando game. You guys didn't tell me it was a squad-based thing. I want to kill my entire squad. 77.
I didn't tell you that because I haven't played it in like 20 years. I didn't remember.
It's also ridiculous bullet spongy. But Sev, Scorch, and Fixer, I want to kill all three of them. And there's friendly fire, so I actually did at one point kill them. It was a lot of fun.
Friendly fired somebody.
I friendly fired 3 people.
Shadow, I know you don't have the link. I was talking about Clue.
No, Shadow, Delta team are a pain in the butt, and I hope they all die. In fact, I will leave them behind.
Yeah. Oh no. Oh.
See, thank you, Tugboat. In fact, I did it. At first, I was doing it. I didn't realize I was doing it.
I did say everyone, but in case you haven't picked it up from context here. Don't make me say it out loud, kid. It's me. So.
No, well, they're telling me what's it called? Which games? They're telling me KOTOR and Force Unleashed are awesome because I get to go to the dark side and kill everybody.
No, I'm supposed to. Knights of the Old Republic is canonically the protagonist is on the light side and he's male.
But can I go to the dark side and kill everybody?
Yeah, you can also be a girl if you want, but it's not canonical.
I don't want to be a girl.
Fictional story.
I don't want to be a girl. I've already said I never play girls. I only play guys because I want to piss off the wokies.
Actually, I don't think that would piss them off. If anything, they'd be like going, "Yes, McQueen, are you identifying as trans?"
No.
Yeah. Wait. Look at me.
I'm just saying.
There's no possible way, even if I wanted to identify as trans, given how I'm dressed. Yeah, but then if I'm not playing. Well, you already said that female character's not canonical.
No.
But I just want to know, can I go to the dark side and kill everybody?
Yeah,
What, in
kind of.
KOTOR? Yeah.
Awesome.
There's a bit in KOTOR too where you're on the smuggler's moon of Nar Shaddaa, right? And you come across an altercation where a couple of Hut thugs, like they work for the Huts, they're not Huts themselves, are shaking down this dude for money that he doesn't have. Obviously, he owes them for gambling debts or some such. Doesn't really matter. Anyway, they're trying to beat some money out of him, and you have obviously options depending on like where your charisma level is at and what your
Okay.
alignment is and all that stuff. Different dialogue options will appear. I was so fucking evil at that point, and so high in charisma and like force coercion, because for some reason I decided to just dump most of my points into that instead of anything combat related. That not only could I talk my way out of most things, but usually things will work out really well for me. So in this case, what I did was talk the two thugs into throwing themselves off of a balcony overlooking an infinite drop. And then
Awesome.
when the guy came up to thank me for saving him, I force controlled him into giving me all of his money and doing the same.
Awesome.
Yeah, I know. I know. I had a feeling you were gonna say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were super evil. Your skin was all cracked and glowing.
Oh yeah, with the bright glowing,
Yeah.
yellow orange eyes kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah, no,
Yep.
I did. I played through on light side too, but frankly, it's just not profitable, and you never have enough money for upgrades.
Okay, you've convinced
Dude,
me.
are
Why
you
would I-
kidding me?
Yeah,
You ain't watched me play it then. Dude,
Why
you
the
gotta-
hell would?
Dude, I
because people are always getting you to do shit for free because you're a good guy.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
You
hell
should
no.
help them.
But when you kill people, all you do is pick up all their stuff and sell it, and then you do all the swoop race challenges, and you sell all the stuff you get there too, and you get a bunch of money.
Yeah,
Dude,
but
I
you get to
finished
kill
that game
everybody.
time with like 35,000 credits.
Did you ever find any of the secret
Yeah,
endings?
there are secret endings. I was aware of this.
There are endings in the game. Like you can end the game early several times. And I don't just mean dying in combat, but I mean like it'll roll credits. Like in the first game in KOTOR 1, when you're on Manan, the water world, right?
Mhm.
If you do what I did, which is to say permanently destroy their ecosystem planet-wide, right? They get really touchy about that. You go before them in trial anyway. It's one of the plot points, but how you handle yourself, how you conduct yourself, and exactly what led up to getting to that point in the first place will have a direct impact on how that trial goes. And if you are 100% unrepentant, they just execute you on the spot and the credits roll.
Jeez.
Wait. What is Payday 1 and Payday 2? Because he said it never pays to be good. That's why I liked playing Payday 1 and Payday 2. So Payday.
I don't
Sounds-
know. That possibly
That sounds very profitable.
crime game.
That sounds very profitable.
Probably criminal.
Awesome.
So, but that's one of the reasons I liked KOTOR was because you could do stuff like that. I like most of BioWare's games for those reasons. Like,
Oh no, I'm
because
a big fan of BioWare.
it gives you options. You can be good, you can be bad, you can be somewhere in between. It's up to you. And depending on where you are on that, depends on how your companions react to you and what they do and your relationships with them. Which I know Kat's going like, oh well, I don't care about the relationships. But take Mass Effect 2 for example. If you don't have a stellar relationship with every single member of your crew, somebody's going to die at the end.
Yep.
But if you have a stellar relationship with them and you, of course, assign them correctly, everybody makes it through alive, which I did one time.
Why would I want to have a stellar relationship with them? I hate them all already, and I don't even know them. I got to get this Payday 1 and Payday 2.
You can't technically. You don't beat Mass Effect 2 the way you should if you lose crew members. Everybody's supposed to survive.
I mean, it's also a suicide. Like you could come through and your character could die too, along with everybody else. It's one of the endings.
Yeah.
Wait, I thought Shepard gets like thrown into space or something in one of the games.
Yeah,
that's
the first one.
That's the beginning of the second one technically, because the first one ends happily after beating No, it's not. Oh no.
Well,
What's his name? Oh, what's the first Reaper's name?
Oh, Sovereign.
Thank you, Sovereign. Yeah, he's a Vanguard. Sovereign's the Vanguard in the first game, but
Yeah, he's not even that big for a Reaper.
no. Harbinger obviously is the leader, is the biggest Reaper, and the thing is massive. But no, yeah, Sovereign's not even that big of a Reaper because he's a Vanguard. He's basically just a gatekeeper, and he just destroys like this going out of style. I love the Reapers are one of my favorite bad guys ever because they're just so gnarly, and like it just everything you do is almost like it's like shooting a BB gun at a freight train. It's wild. I love it.
Well, like Kat, you watched Stargate,
yes,
right? So you remember the replicators?
yes.
So think the replicators, but on a Cthulhu scale.
Yeah, but the problem is I'd have to play Mass Effect.
They're
Yeah,
good games, Kat. Get over it.
No, and Shadow, I don't agree.
You like
I like
shooting games, right?
I like lots of shooty games.
Well,
That's
there's
pretty much
lots
the whole thing.
That's the majority of the game. It's just an RPG style. Instead of being like Call of Duty, it actually has a story to it. But like you shoot everything almost.
Warframe has a story to it.
Well, yeah, okay.
And no, Shadow, I do like certain NPCs. I like the Corpus. They're NPCs. You don't see me massacring them.
Yeah.
I just don't want to talk to.
Yeah, you just don't want interruption from the shooty bang bang.
Yes, I don't want interruptions from the shooty bang bang.
Then we can't talk about games anymore because
Yeah, like you play boring games.
You know how you were talking about, I was like, oh well, I find the relationship building boring. I find constant action with no fucking point boring.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of course there's a point. Being the best and kicking ass.
That's not enough for me. I got to be involved in a
it.
fucking story, or it's not. It's like there's no reason for me to play.
I'm sorry.
A story. It's just it's not the main focus. I mean, there's a story. I mean, I keep complaining about the crap story that's Destiny 2. It's garbage.
I think I've seen the Destiny games. No, maybe not.
I like story, but I like it minor. You know, there is a story in Warframe.
Okay, why does the Corpus do what it does?
The Corpus? The Corpus started out as a sort of low, very, very poor, was basically under the Orokin, and they were founded by a man named Parvus Granum. Parvus Granum was a very poor farmer who stole a piece of rubido, and they cut off his hand, which is why he has a golden hand. And he basically strove to make as much wealth as possible. And they're basically run by the idea of greed, but at the same time, they go with the idea of merit. So if you work hard, you will be rewarded for working hard, which is why when he returns, because he's in the void for like 1,000 years, he's very disappointed by the state of the Corpus, because the Corpus now have people like, imagine if Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos lived for 1,000 years, how corrupt they'd become. Because if you have all the money in the world and you live for centuries, so he's like, you don't work for it, you've corrupted my message. So the Corpus are a religion of profit worshipping, but supposedly it was supposed to be based on working hard for that profit. Now it's you're working for your elite corporate overlords' profit. It's a religion based on hard work and labor, where they worship hard work and labor. And there's actually a ritualistic component we don't see, but it is mentioned around their hard work and labor. So there is story to Warframe. There's a log story to Warframe. It's just it's not.
It's got lore and it's got backstory. Yeah,
yes,
I get that.
And you have play. You have
so does Mass Effect.
So it also has like I said, it has campaign, so to speak, like the New War, where you got to play a whole storied section. But the main focus of the game is the action and the adventure, and you have a story on the side. I mean, one of the reasons I don't really care for Destiny 2 is I do not like the direction the story's gone to. And one of the things that's driven me away from Destiny 2 is how bad the story is, which is interesting coming from me, where you'd be like, well, then you hate the story. It's not only about the story. No, the story is god awful garbage. It is just fan fiction. It is emo fanfic, emotional over the top fanfic, more suited for soap opera than a first person shooter.
I think this might help clarify some context. For me at least, since I've played the Halo. I'll say the good Halo games. Hey, JV, what's up, buddy?
Greatest JV.
What's happening, folks?
Hey, JV.
Hello. I heard somebody talking in my dreams, and I woke up and it was Cat talking about Warframe. So
Yeah.
Right.
Ryan, finish your point,
Zillage
though.
is right. Zillage is right.
Okay, real quick, how does the action and the story compare to like Halo 1 and 2?
I liked Halo. No, I loved Halo.
Okay, is it kind of parallel in a sense? It kind of has that kind of story, like there's a reason the aliens invade or everything's happened. The bad guys are the bad guys and the good guys are fighting them.
I think one of the main things with Warframe is it's an ongoing game. So
it never ends.
Whereas,
It never ends.
It's a live service game. So
yeah, they update, they add new content.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the entire thing isn't like Halo, which is a compact one person. Warframe is closer to Destiny 2 than it is to Halo.
It's like an MMO shooter.
Yes, but there are components. So they've added components in it that are like Halo. So like the new war, they added the massive update where you got to play as a Corpus and a Grineer. I loved Halo. Halo is one of my favorite games. I like a game like Halo. I don't like a game like Mass Effect where you have choices and decisions and you got to get to. But I loved Halo.
Really hard.
Yeah. I absolutely love Halo.
I would like to take a moment and point out here that one thing that when Kat talks about the Corpus and how much she likes the Corpus and she loves their story and their backstory and all this stuff, what she's not telling you guys is that the Corpus are the NPCs that she's shooting.
Yes.
I've tried to avoid shooting.
They're not the main characters at all. They're the bad guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which makes which is one reason. Probably the three of JV probably doesn't care, but the Samuel and I are confused because we play video games. And we're like, oh, got it.
Well, see that. We'll see. Now that you've told me that, I'm like, huh?
The Corpus are awesome. They're capitalists.
But you can't play as them. You can only
actually,
kill them.
well, that's one of the things in the new war you did get to play
like socialists.
No, they're capitalists. Right. No, they're capitalists. They are absolutely profit
because
driven.
That doesn't just because you're driven by profit does not necessarily make you a capitalist. What would make them the big difference between a capitalist and a socialist? Capitalists are also individualists, and it sounds like the Corpus are the more of a hive mind. Yeah. So they're socialists.
They work for a company. They own private property. They have each one. In fact, there are multiple.
Who owns the property? The corporation or the individuals?
Individuals are capable of it. Of course, they're too poor to. We don't pay them enough.
So that's socialism.
But
because you don't pay them. Because they're working for the man.
Socialism.
But the Corpus are also multiple. No, it isn't. No, it isn't.
Yes.
No, it isn't.
Corpus. Okay, the Corpus is the state, is what it is.
No, it isn't. It's the market. The market is run by the Corpus. They are not the.
That's the state.
Yeah.
They are the market, as in they are multiple different companies united under a trade language.
Let me ask you this: Are these multiple companies who are working together in what one might call what's the word I'm looking for here?
Oligarchy.
Yeah. No. Is there a separation between them and the ruling body?
I don't think there is a ruling body. Because
it's them.
No, they're not. They're not the ruling body of the solar system. There is no.
No, I mean, it's set for the Corpus, like in their culture. Is there a separation between the corporation and whatever ruling body the Corpus have, or is it the same thing?
I'm not sure. I know that the Corpus themselves are a religion, and that there are multiple factions of the corpus that are actually in competition with each other, and there are fights between them. People assume that the corpus is one faction. It's not. It's multiple factions, and they will have competition between each other. And
so
the Nazis and the Soviets didn't like each other either.
Right, exactly. Or the Chinese.
No, Kat, we're not messing with you. Seriously, it's a socialistic.
No, it isn't socialistic.
Swear to God, it is.
No, it's sort of like right there. All right.
Because the more you're describing it, it's more. I mean, not to the extreme that the Borg is, but it's kind of like the Borg.
Well, because if you think about it, if I'm going to be a ultra profit driven corporate leader, I want my employees to not question me. So
it's a fascist.
That's culty, Cat.
So it's a fascist.
But at the same time, they have the ability to rise in the ranks if they do enough hard work. The possibility is to become, because Alan.
So you dangle a carrot in front of them so they'll keep working for nothing.
Well, no, they don't work for nothing. What are you talking about? They get paid, of course. You can reach to the leadership levels. Alan V was a low-ranked officer who eventually made it to the board.
You could do that. Well, you could also do that in 1930s Germany, or in
Mussolini.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's more of a religion based on corporations.
And socialists and that is not with the zealotry that no, you
socialism would mean that everyone is being paid by the state.
No.
What would socialism be then? Because they are basically
being provided for by the state. They're not being paid anything.
They're not being and the corpus
hard labor for basically basic benefits, which would be
the corpus. The corpus. You get paid a salary, and you get
okay. So this is state socialism.
No,
it's what it is. It's state socialism.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
We can move on.
This is modern day China. This is modern day China.
No, it's meant to be a satire of modern day America. In fact, where it's like you are still getting paid a salary, not a basic one for survival. Everyone gets different paid salaries.
It kind of sounds like it was created as an allegory for modern day America by people who hate America.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which I guess is wrong, because if you look at it right, capitalism is good. The thing is, I think one of the other things
I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna play this game. Which one is it?
It's called Warframe.
Just called Warframe. I'm getting it on Steam. I'm gonna play this crap, and I'm gonna be like, I gotta see this. I don't know. I'm so confused.
If Amazon reached the end point of being the main only surviving corporation in the world, but absorbed everything else, and parts of it have different ideals, I think it would be more like if a whole bunch of electronic companies. So let's say, you've got Amazon on one. The reason, not really Amazon, because Amazon too multi-faceted, but I would say imagine all the supermarkets came together and became one main company. Then you have one company led by another board member that's all of the electronic stores. Then another one is clothing. So then they all have different different big companies.
You know that what the Politburo was in the USSR? Basically, all the top leaders sat on like a board, and they controlled all the wealth, and then everybody else was poor. It worked for them.
No, because again, people can earn wealth and rise in the ranks. It's not that the government.
You can. Some people can manage to claw their way up in socialism, but it's very rare. It's not like living in America where you can actually start your own business and become super wealthy.
The corpus you can.
How many people do that?
Not many, but you can. You
So
can do
what
it.
would you say the percentage is?
I
What-
don't know, but I know in the corpus you can rise up. We don't see enough about it, but in the corpus you can. Now it's not as common as say in America, but it's meant to be multiple businesses that have become religions. It is a religion, but it's business red. They're really
you
not the
realize that-
government.
You realize in socialism and in communism that this state is considered your religion, right?
Yes, but again,
Look at
socialism is
China.
the state giving you your needs. As you said, the corpus pays you. You can end up
Just enough to stay alive, right?
No, it depends on your position. Some of them make more money than others.
That's true in socialism too. They just don't like that particular.
So then
talking
you are
point.
literally telling me there's no. What's the difference then? First you tell me it's the state is paying you exactly what you need to survive. Well, I told you that's not true in the corpus. In the corpus,
Well,
you can
people-
advance and you can get paid more. People
Pe-
own private
people-
property in the corpus.
People in China get paid as well, but they literally make they make less money than the majority of the poorest people in the United States. Like
And-
if I made $60,000 a year in China, I would live very well.
And I did not say that's what they're doing in the corpus. I said people get different levels of salary based on their position.
China's socialism.
And
Well-
you are not giving me an exact difference between the two. You keep telling me, okay, so it means that you're getting paid exactly what you need to survive. I told you they don't. Okay.
So big gulps, huh?
I mean, as I said,
I don't want to. I don't want to.
it's taking capitalism to an extreme. It's meant to be taking
I want to move on for this because you're obviously extremely passionate about the franchise.
but
and I haven't played it enough to, let's say,
And
render
also-
a educated opinion. I will play it. I won't play it online. I'll play it offline, and I would like to see what the story's like.
the problem is there's not very much about the corpus. You need to go very much into the lore, which is, yeah. And it's very difficult. Like, for example, the fact that it is called a religion is only in the scanned cards. But it's meant to be capitalism to the extreme.
Warframe is free.
Yes,
I like
it is.
free.
Yes, it is
Especially-
free. And it's actually free to play, done very, very well.
Well, guess what? You talked me into playing it because.
Oh my god, I
I
keep
would
getting
like to-
people.
I'm only playing it because, quite frankly, we
Just look it up
disagree on the position. But I will play it for that reason.
Honestly, just look it up then on the wiki. You can find out more about the corpus on the wiki.
No, I would rather play the game and get a thorough understanding of it. I think that's only fair. And that's it's the same reason that I watched The Little Mermaid. I mean, I can't bash on The Little Mermaid if I haven't seen it. And one reason I like to show you guys the clips from what I watched, because not to torture you guys, it's so you guys understand, why.
Wait,
it's bad or-
you don't understand. This isn't The Little Mermaid, all right? This is, in order to actually get into the beginning good part of the story, you need to get up to the second dream quest, right? The second dream quest is about 30 to 40 hours in.
Okay.
This isn't just a 2-hour. This is to get to the new war. You need several hundred
Samuel.
hours.
Kat, I will play the game. You got me to play
You
it. How
have
about that?
hundreds of hours ahead of you.
Well, guess what? Then you know what? Hundreds of hours down the road, I will have a review for you in 2 years.
Okay.
Good
well,
luck.
I guarantee we lost
I'm not gonna say no,
viewers
I'm
over
just-
this conversation.
actually, we didn't.
I don't
Really?
even know how.
No, we didn't. It seems to be an interesting debate about exactly what the corpus is politically. So
It's
but,
to be decided from
It is
my
really-
position from now on. Man, I'll tell you, what did I see on? There was something on
Yeah.
Twitter.
Hey, Bo, don't be late
There
on
it
our
is.
account, man. If you got
The
if you got
corpus.
work,
Yeah.
Also
don't-
known as the
don't- well, this
taxman.
will still be up later.
Yeah,
Are a
don't-
conglomeration of plutocratic, commercial, and industrial interests unified by a single trade language and a common goal: the pursuit of wealth and profit through the development and sale of advanced technologies and through the rediscovery of lost artifacts from the Orcan era, including warframes themselves and the sentients. They are the second enemy faction encountered by the player. Their arsenal is a potent mix of energy weapons and robotic troops. So they are a conglomeration of plutocratic, commercial, and industrial interests unified by a single trade language and a common goal, the pursuit of wealth and profit through the development and the sale of advanced technologies. That is what the corpus is.
They're
They're
still
also-
not capitalists. That is state socialism.
You know, we
No.
were actually we were actually on the verge of moving on. We're like,
Real quick, in the interest of moving on, Bo was asking a question about last night. So last night we were running late, starting Abyssal Musings, and I put up a poll that was supposed to be funny, and apparently
yeah,
everybody took something very seriously on there. Amira wasn't yelling at us. We didn't even talk to her until after the show. That was a joke.
I found that hilarious.
The real reason, what I find hilarious is that was the number one. I put up a poll with 4 options on it, and the number one answer was Amira was yelling at us. Came in at 71%. You know what came in at 0%? The actual answer. Larry was taking a shit. That's why we were running late. He was in the bathroom.
That's funny. Well, I was so tired, dude. I ended up falling asleep. I couldn't even make it. I think I only made it like through a third of the show. I was wrecked. Yeah.
Yeah. No, and Clue, you're right. Yeah, she does yell occasionally when it's warranted and all that stuff. She wasn't last night. I just thought it was a funny thing to put in the poll, and everybody's like,
It's
"Oh my God, they're in trouble." And I was like, "No, we weren't. It was a joke."
Well, I voted. I mean, I thought the poll was kind of meant to be humorous.
Yeah, it was.
And I'm like, oh, then duh, Amira.
Yeah, no, I voted Amira too. That's wholeheartedly. I was like, there was I didn't think you were getting yelled at, but I was like, I think you guys had to have a discussion about whatever.
You know,
for
the second most popular answer on there was Samuel got ate by a bear, and clearly that wasn't the case because you could hear my voice. Although that is possible where I live. So
yeah, that's true. Oh my God, have you seen the video of the idiot on Twitter circulating of the guy that's been in Yellowstone National Park running after bears? Going,
yeah, we talked about that last night.
Oh, is that okay? I must have in my sleep overheard that while I was dozing off.
Yeah, we did.
Funny. What an asshole! Fuck that guy.
That's one of the topics that Larry brought up. He had the video for it. And...
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Sam brought up the shark and
yes,
and then I saw your response to someone today, Sam, when they somehow turned this into an allegory of sharks are anti-Russian and sharks, and she has a Ukraine flag, and you're like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah,
because like it doesn't matter where the person who got ate is from. It doesn't matter. Somebody got ate by a shark, and everybody stood around filming it on the fucking beach instead of trying to help.
That was
Well, and by the time a boat did arrive, the person was under the water. They're dead.
Oh no, you could see him die in the fucking video.
Yeah.
Like you could see the moment where he died. Like, and that's something that I don't like about Twitter. It's like I don't enjoy the fact that every time I open that goddamn app, 9 times out of 10, there's going to be something in my feed, usually reposted by somebody that I like and follow.
Sorry.
Which is just footage of somebody's fucking life ending.
If you, what's the tab that, it's not the one for people you follow. It's the other one. It's like, oh, for you. And it's like, what do you mean for you? And, I love the fact that it says for you, because I get literally opinions on, okay, here's Jameel Hill. Like, I don't follow that guy. Well, I follow Kat. There's Kat. Pop Crave, and it's like, oh look, Joe Locke shares a new photo of Kit Connor. Happy Pride. Like, I don't follow you. It's like, why am I John Cooper? I literally, this dude is a leftist.
No, I get that, Ryan. I'm just saying that, like, half the time, like even people that I like and follow, even my friends, even people that I agree with in certain respects, they will repost some awful fucking shit that I never wanted to see just to say how awful it is.
Yeah,
I've done it too. Honestly, I've done it too.
I know.
And I'm
Here's an
I'm
interesting one if you want to show
I'm
that when we're done with this conversation.
tired of fucking opening that app and watching someone die every day.
Yeah, no, I mean, I see constant like fights and stuff like that, and it's just like I don't care. I've learned just to scroll by them when it's like, oh my god, this person got punched in the face. And I'm like, yeah. This one's actually funny. This is from Alex Stein, but yeah. So when we're done with this conversation, it's something funny that's got to do with Brittany Griner. It's going to get people up in arms.
Who?
So, the person who should have been left in Russia,
Bradley Griner.
Who?
Bradley Griner.
Oh God.
You look at that woman again and tell me that's not a dude.
That's got to be a dude.
Oh yeah. No.
That's got to be a dude.
Somebody every time that JV comes back with one of the W words and a question mark, you got to slip in. My name is.
That's funny.
What? My name is who? My name is.
Yes. Oh, you mean the person who came back and their head coach was upset because the game wasn't a sellout?
Yeah.
Need I remind you, you're the WNBA. None of your games are sellouts.
I feel like they just give tickets away. They're like, please come.
Well, okay, so me living in a town that has a team, and they have this town has spent a lot of the money on the Aces. They have a very nice place to. They have a very nice place to play. They do not share it with. They do not share it with another team, because if they were to try and sell out the T-Mobile Arena, that would be a those would be embarrassing numbers. It's basically a smaller it's a smaller arena. Like you could hold like smaller concerts in there and the whatnot. And they also have the top of the line state of the art training facility, because we have another co-owner of the co-owner of the Raiders moved into town and has set up his training stuff, and that being Tom Brady.
Oh no. I'm
But
sorry, guys. So I watched.
But don't get me wrong. They don't sell out their own arena either. So
No, I couldn't help but think of that South Park episode where Kyle was trying to get a hold of some of Tom Brady's shit.
Yeah.
To inject into his own butt.
Oh man.
Because somebody else's poop. That's a real procedure, by the way. They do that. They inject healthy shit from healthy people into unhealthy people, and it supposedly cleans up their internal biome or some shit.
Yeah, because you have good and bad gut bacteria.
Yeah,
but even in your intestines, yeah.
But they do it with fecal matter.
Yep.
And the DeBoa, yeah, that is also the same team that lost to a team of 15-year-old boys 5-2.
Oh my God. And they stopped it. They stopped that game. The U.S. ladies soccer team losing to a retired middle-aged men team. They were all in their 40s and 50s. They stopped it at 40 minutes out of a 90-minute game. I grew up playing soccer, so I was like, it was big. Football and soccer, the two ones with the feet were huge where I grew up.
You know what's really funny too is that like you see chicks like Megan Rapinoe, speaking of
you're right.
Female U.S. soccer players with big fucking mouths, it isn't her purple hair that people hate about her. It's not her politics. It's not the fact that she kneels for the flag when she should be paying it some goddamn respect. It isn't any of those things. It's that she's a mediocre player in a mediocre league of a sport that nobody in America fucking cares about.
No.
Yeah.
Case in point.
No offense
Case
to the
in
rest of the world, by the way. I know you all love your football. We don't.
Yeah.
Right. So case in point, the World Cup, the big thing every 4 years, blah 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 blah, where all the teams in get a percentage of the revenue. After the bills are paid, each team gets a cut, and then the higher you get, where the champion gets a huge cut out of it. The women's, the World Cup, the last one, generated $131 million in revenue. The men's World Cup, $5 billion.
Yeah, because nobody cares about the women. I'm sorry, but nobody cares. I don't care. Why? I've never watched the Women's World Cup.
Here's the point that Clue's bringing up. Like it said, somebody did this study and said Serena Williams would be number 51 in high school boys tennis. That is accurate, and I don't believe that Serena Williams would dispute that. She's been on record as saying, I wouldn't want to play against men. I can't compete. She said that, and she's one of the top players in the world.
Mm-hmm. She said that on. Yeah, she said that on. David.
That woman's got a level head. You know, and she is good at tennis. She's very good at tennis. She's just doesn't have this, and she understands the difference there. And I guess my problem with Rapinoe and with people like her was like, oh well, we don't get paid the same for our sports as men do, and I'm just like, well, you know why that is? It's because nobody's watching. If you generate, so I got 3 words for you, Megan Rapinoe. If you're out there listening, get good, scrub.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
you need to start taking tea.
Also, the fact too is that the men and women's teams for the U.S. The U.S. National teams, they pick their payment package, and the men picked the lower form. So if the more they win, the more they get paid as they win. Where the women pay to play, where the women took the guaranteed money at a lower rate.
So and they said, and the initial court case, the judge said, had you taken what the men's team offered, you would just by this, you would have been making 5 times what the men's team makes. So no, you have no case, here, and then they still bet to him.
Yep, they still bent the knee after the judge threw it out and said, "This is horse shit. I get it out of here." And and then because they were going on the basis of like sexism and stuff like that, and like breaking of federal law and all that, because you can't play
and there's a wage gap.
All that garbage. No, the judge looked at the contract, said, "Nope, this is what you signed on the dotted line for. Get out of my face." And then the league, still caved. Like what, 6 months later?
Yeah.
And Clue brings up yet another point. Men's models don't get paid as much as women's models.
No.
And they don't. And you know why? It's because there's not an equality there. People don't like looking at dudes.
No.
Right? There's a reason that female models make more than male models do. It's because they're more in demand. They bring the numbers. They bring the views. They bring, the sales and all that stuff. You look at sports. There's a reason that the NBA outperforms the WNBA all the goddamn time. Porn industry too. Yeah. I mean,
I was just going to say, Jay,
frankly, if you want to make any money doing that as a dude, you got to take it up the ass from another dude.
Yep. You got to do the gay porn. You got to suck a dick.
Is the only way you're going to make any real money in that industry.
Well, it does warrant it. Roll it.
Yeah. Well,
you don't have it.
I don't have it pulled up. No, I was on a rant, and you started talking about how much you want a dick in your mouth. So here you go.
Yay!
And while we're at it, just because we haven't played it in a long time,
I am not gay. I have relationships with women, sex with men.
And I got news for you. That means you're gay.
It's the fact that someone said cut, print. Yes, that is the take.
Yeah.
It was. I can't fault the acting in that scene. Yeah.
Well, here you go. Here's I'm going to share this. This is for Lego and it's the wonderful women's team. Look at the amount of impressions. I'm putting in the private chat now. Look at the amount of impressions compared to the amount of fucking likes on this garbage. It's atrocious. It's the potato working, or
Oh no, it's working just fine. I've only got one fucking screen working at the moment, so you'll have to give me a second.
so it's like amateur hour over here, huh? What do you guys think?
You know, it's all you could just share the screen too.
Yeah,
it's true. I could
instead of making it fucking hard on me. But all right,
he's got a point.
Yeah. You should play this video. But yeah.
All right. I think I've seen this. Bring it up.
Shield up! Goal! Shankar has struck again! Amazing! That's another epic win for Megan Rapinoe. The crowd goes bananas! This is history in the making. It's now anyone's game. Who's gonna take it home?
Nobody.
It's because nobody.
315,000 impressions. So 315,000 people scrolled past that, got 965 likes. 965 likes out of 315,000 impressions.
Nobody likes.
That's a percent of a percent.
Yeah.
No, well, that proves also. You know what that also proves? Because
that's a fraction of a fraction of a fraction.
Yeah, one of those percents was me too.
Wait, so all right.
I know.
Right.
I was one also because I was like, oh my god.
Wait, so there are better female soccer players than her.
Yeah, just go back to the fucking 90s, like when
Mia Hamm.
Mia Hamm, like back when America actually kind of liked soccer a smidgen. You know, I remember when the Women's World Cup with Mia Hamm, like when they won and the one soccer player ripped her shirt off and got fined for it and all that garbage. Everybody's like, what are you fining her for? She's celebrating. Get out of here. She's wearing a sports
So basically, what this proves is if you're So basically what this proves, because she's a mediocre player that everyone has so much attention and yet is just thoroughly unlikable, is the more of a bitch you are online, the more attention you get. The more controversial trash you say, the more people are like, oh my God, did you hear what she said?
I'll be honest, Kat. Yeah, I would have no idea who. And I saw your correction there, Carrie, and I did hear it in the thing, but I'm still gonna call her Rapinoe because fuck her. I wouldn't have no idea who the hell she is if it weren't for the fact that she has a big fucking mouth.
Yes.
Yep.
Because I don't watch women's soccer because frankly, it's not fun.
Yeah.
And shortly, what it was shortly after they got their pay increase after the judge threw it out and stuff like that in the league cave, they still got to her and one of her sisters who in arms over all this identity politics. They got to go to the White House and speak to Joe Biden about the wage gap in America.
What wage gap?
I bet that pompadour that Rapinoe wears, that big colored pompadour, made it real easy for her hair to get sniffed.
Yeah, probably. Well, and she's also married to now retired WNBA player Sue Bird.
I didn't know that. I had no idea.
Who made a name for herself when she played college for UConn. She won 3 straight national titles.
Yeah, they had no idea. Not at all. Because I don't follow WNBA either.
No.
Nobody cares.
But no, if you show that Alex Stein video, or I mean, I can pull it back up if you want. It's so Brittany Griner, I guess she landed in somewhere in Texas, like Houston or something. I don't know. And Alex Stein, of course, doing his thing, being a comedian. He was like, "Hey, he's like, are you gonna start supporting America because we're right back and stuff like that?" And her security detail dude was like roughing him up, putting hands on him. And he's like, "Dude, stop grabbing me!" And and then of course the Magic, is that who she? No, the Phoenix.
She plays the Phoenix, the Mercury.
they put out a statement saying we're aware of the incident that happened, and we're basically talking about safety of their players and all that crap. It's like, dude, she got heckled. Who cares?
Oh.
Oh yeah, well, it's
Yeah,
a
She
feminist.
got her precious fucking feelings hurt is what happened.
Well, from what I've heard from players who are no longer in the league, that the league is like 70% lesbian, and
gotta be.
and they are really trying to push to make it almost entirely lesbian.
So they're trying to cut out the straight chicks who want to be involved in this as well. So yeah, that's super inclusive of them. All right, let's play this video. See what.
Oh, it's funny.
Do you still want to boycott America, Brittany? Well, get off me. Stop. I'm weird. Why? She hates America. What about the Merchant of Death, Fred?
I mean, those are fair questions.
Yeah, and dude's fucking manhandling him. Like, what are you touching him for, dude?
I mean, to be fair, she's been back in the country for how long has she thanked America at all?
No
statement. No, she did not put out a statement once she got back.
Of course she didn't.
The last thing that we saw was her sitting on the stupid airplane, flying back. It's like she's finally home, and then like that was it. No statement was put out by her or her PR team.
It won't be.
Like,
it won't be until she's forced into a corner.
Ungrateful bent.
Yeah, it's just the fact that one of the most notorious arms dealers and probably one of the worst fucking people on the planet was released to save her no talent, no name ass.
Right, mind you, she is like 6'10", 6'11". She can't dunk. I mean, she does every now and then.
Damn! That's not a woman.
How can she not dunk? I'm 6'4" and I can reach the rim.
Because women have a lower center of gravity than men do, and so they had when she first came in to the league, that they had a story on. They were doing a story on her because she did dunk a couple times in college, but it was like rim. It was like rim touch, rattle it in, and so she said that she could dunk all the time. So they're in the arena, and she takes a few bounces, goes up to dunk, brick, tries again, brick, tries again, brick, and
jeez.
And then she had the audacity to somebody was talking about a NBA player was complimenting somebody, was complimenting the one of the gals in her league, saying, hey, she really played well. She really played well tonight, and said something about her looks or looking good. Mm-hmm. And she took that as the male gaze and basically said, wait till I take you and beat you the one-on-one. Okay, mind you, this is a NBA power forward who was like 6'8", 300 pounds, just yoked. And I'm like, oh, honey, you're barking up the wrong tree. You cannot.
You're barking up an actual tree.
Yes, exactly.
And I also have a question. I don't know what she's talking about with the male gaze because she looks like a fucking man. Have you seen her?
Yeah,
I mean, oh my God.
Yes, she looks like a man.
Yeah, she does. She looks like several men that I've known who made a habit of hanging out in crackhead flop houses. Actually.
Well, we all know what she got busted and rushed for. Look, hey, you know what? You gotta see.
Well, it wasn't crack, but yeah.
Well,
you gotta.
To quote Stephen Hey Smith, stay off the weed.
I would actually go as far to say maybe don't go to Russia. Like,
Well, okay,
don't
well,
go to Russia
The
for
fact
it.
is you should never go anywhere if you do not understand the local laws and customs.
Well, also on top of that, during a conflict between Russia and another country, I don't give a shit about that conflict for one second, except for the people dying. I want it to stop. But why would you go to a country that's actively in a fight?
I know why. I know why because in the WNBA's off season, which is most of the year, they go over and play in the Euro leagues.
Yeah, and they get paid. They get paid a lot more money there than they do here.
Right, and a lot of those leagues are fronts for mob.
Yeah,
they're mob fronts.
Because a lot of the some of the Russian oligarchs have hands in that and stuff, and they're directly paying. It's almost like also kind of like the NBA in China kind of have deals, because you can't say nothing bad about China on NBA television.
Well, yeah, or Disney.
Real quick, Zillage. Part of me agrees with you, Zillage. Part of me does. However, I also understand that she's an American citizen, and we should do everything we can to get American citizens home. Period. Even if she's a cunt, it doesn't matter. She's still an American citizen. However, the reason that we got the fucking worst goddamn trade in all of history, not just WNBA history.
Exactly.
The worst trade was we gave up somebody of extraordinary political value. As well as maybe don't put this guy out in the fucking world again. Responsible for a lot of fucking death, this dude.
He's called the Merchant of Death. That's for
no, it's not a euphemism. It's a literal thing. We traded poorly, and we did so because we have a fucking weakling and a coward in office.
Yeah.
And identity politics.
It's a lesbian woman of color.
If we'd have had a stronger negotiating presence, then we probably could have got her back for a lot lower of a cost. But
you're right.
yeah, that is true. And as somebody who watched the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah.
Still love the show, but yeah, no, it was very. All the action scenes were all done. Were done
Japanese.
Japanese, and
it was all Japanese, right?
It was all Japanese, and they just spliced in the.
They were all Yellow Rangers.
Wow!
Look, I'm just pointing this out. Like so the Yellow Ranger was Asian, the Black Ranger was black. I mean. I didn't write the show.
The Pink Ranger was pink. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I think they were a little on the nose with the color assignments.
Well, considering the fact that Sam Haban is just saying the showrunner who owns both franchises and has for they did sell it for a couple of years and then bought it back
for a brief time, and
yeah,
and you know who owned it, right?
Yep, Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then they sold it apparently back.
Well, because they didn't know what to do. They didn't know what to do with it.
I mean, no, but it should have been.
So actually, when they sold it back to a Saban, Disney was so just like take it back. This was a mistake. We didn't know that we got this and blah blah blah. Hey, Saban owns the Disney Ranger stuff too.
Yeah,
he owns it all. Yep, owns it all, which means he can distribute Disney Rangers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good for him. Good for him. I mean, I still.
Oh, was she care? Okay. She was arrested days before the invasion. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I
knew it was in the.
Well, it was before. It was before Russia was more or less closed off to outsiders, and it was definitely before the media blackout.
Okay,
And
cool.
Clue.
Okay,
And Clue.
nice correction. Thanks, Gary.
And Clue. Amy Jo was everybody's
Oh yeah.
girlfriend. Stop it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I had a little yellow fever even at that age, so
I
They were
did too.
fapping big.
I'm not
Big
gonna. And God rest her soul, man. That's so sad what happened to her.
Dude.
Yeah, Tu Trang. Yeah, she died in that car accident.
Yeah,
a bridesmaid on a way to a wedding.
Yeah, she died, and she died just shortly after she was in the Crow 2, the second Crow film.
Yeah.
Wait, she was in City of Angels. She was the one with the needle, right? The tattoo needle.
She was one of a Iggy Pop's gang.
Yeah, with the tattoo needle, like she tattooed that guy's eyes till he died, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking. Okay, yeah, no, I remember. I hated that fucking movie.
It was awful.
Iggy Pop's not in the second one. His character dies in the first one.
Iggy Pop was not in the original film.
Yeah, he was.
No, he wasn't.
Iggy Pop was fun.
I was really young, so
that is not Unboy. I guarantee you.
Huh. I could have sworn it was.
Nope. Michael Massey is his name. The guy who plays Unboy in the first film.
No, fair enough. I don't know. I haven't watched the second film. I saw the second film before I saw the first one. And I hated the second film. I didn't watch the first one for a long time because I hated the second one. And eventually, I got around to watching the first one. The first one's really good. The second one blows.
It's amazing.
I know. I did not like the second movie, and the third movie's actually worse.
Oh, the second film's terrible.
I think there's a few more too. But
Cat, you're right there. You're breathing.
Yeah. I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Oh, shocking.
I don't know most of that stuff. On the other hand, I know video games.
Yeah,
but
I don't know.
Mass Effect.
Yeah, well, because I told you.
I'm kidding.
So I'll give you this.
I know Mass Attack.
Massive Attack?
I know Mars Attacks.
Massive Attack, sure. Mars Attacks, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it was a good spoof movie. I liked it.
Did you ever collect the cards?
Oh, the Mars Attacks cards?
Yeah.
No, I did.
Yeah, they're put out by Topps. That whole movie is based on fucking collectible cards.
Nice.
I didn't know that.
It's the property is Topps, the same guys who put out some of the premier baseball cards and sports cards and whatnot. They also put out a series called Mars Attacks, which were just joke cards that you could gather, and they had like little blurbs and shit about them on the back. There wasn't a coherent story there, though.
Yeah,
it was just a bunch of basically an excuse to show a bunch of Martians horribly mutilating and murdering people.
Cool.
Well, that was it. And then Tim Burton saw those, loved them, and decided he was going to make a movie out of something that had no story. It was sort of like Battleship, but it worked out better.
Yeah, my favorite line.
The Battleship movie a little bit.
My favorite line in Mars Attacks was they blew up Congress, and I'm like, I don't see a problem with that.
Yeah, well,
I know, right?
Can't we all just get along?
I'm really bad with names, so honestly, I don't even know. Like, I might know a movie, but I don't know the names of the actors. So it's like I don't know who you're talking about half the time because like I have no idea who that is because I just don't know. I mean, I can't even keep track of the people I interact with's names.
Yeah,
that might be telling, Kat.
Wait, what?
It's fine.
You might want to expand your social circle. I'm just saying.
It's fine. It's fine. I did want to touch on, as you said that your favorite part was the bit about the Congress, right? My favorite part was when they were marching through the streets, straight up fucking executing people, but they had this big megaphone that was translating their into "Don't run, we are your friends. Don't run."
Or when they send or when they launch the nuke and they basically Is it like helium?
Yeah, that was pretty good. I think that was a direct knock on what happened in Independence Day.
Yeah. That's great.
Man, I like alien attacks movies too, actually. And you know what? Battleship is an alien attacks movie, even though there's like no context for that in the board game whatsoever. But
Nope.
yeah, it wasn't the worst movie in the world. It wasn't great, but it wasn't the worst movie in the world.
It was far from the worst.
No, it's poetry compared to a lot of shit today.
I mean, it was kind of fun, you know.
I thought it was a fun
like
movie.
what was his like Taylor Kish, I think, was the main character. Right, he played John Carter in the John Carter.
Oh
movie.
yeah.
So I like him. I think he's a fun actor.
I think that was an underrated movie, the John Carter movie. I liked it.
Yeah, it's good.
I also like the Prince of Persia movie from Disney. I thought that was I thought that was underrated too. I was so bummed about that movie. I wanted
that was based so bad. That was based on a game, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. I was so bummed out that they didn't make a second one.
Yeah, the one thing I remember about the John Carter film, is the princess, because she was hot as fuck.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Well, even in the Prince of Persia movie, what's her name? I can't remember. Yeah, she was gorgeous.
Clue's got a question here, and I think it's a fair one. I think we should all go around and give an answer if we've got one. Is there any third sequel that's good?
Rocky 3.
That's with Clubber Lang, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Mr. T.
Decent. I'd say probably one of the what's the third Planet of the Apes film? Because I think there were 4.
Like, well, no, are you talking original series?
No. The
Matt Reeves one. No.
Yeah. I think they all did well. I think the newer ones all did well.
I think it's all right.
3. The new Ghostbusters movie wasn't that bad.
Afterlife, you mean?
Yes, that's technically a third movie.
It is technically a third movie. I definitely very much enjoyed it. I don't think it resonated with the normies, if that makes sense.
Okay. And Carrie is saying Jedi, which I would say is the weakest film of the OT.
I'd agree that it's the weakest film of the trilogy, but it's still good.
Oh, Lord of the Rings: Return of the King. There you go.
Yes.
Chen Li, thank you. Thank you. That's right now. That's the top one.
Yeah, everybody goes with that one. I think that I don't know. But yeah, I'd say Return of the Jedi qualifies, because I think aside from the cute, cutesy animals that they wanted for toy, production and all that stuff, overall it's a pretty solid movie.
I loved Return of the Jedi.
It's my favorite of the 3.
Too.
Yeah, it was my favorite as a kid too. But I think Indiana Jones: The Last Crusade is another good one too.
That's a good third movie.
That's a good third movie. I think it was probably the second best one, because number 2, the
Star Trek 3: Search for Spock.
Okay.
I don't know. That was kind of sucky. When you really think about it.
No.
I disagree.
I'm going to disagree with you on that, Kat.
On the contrary, first of all, it doesn't make any sense at all. When you really think about it, it makes absolutely no sense. Because when you think, Kirk does not know that Spock is alive. When Sarek confronts Kirk, he thinks Spock is dead. Okay? He has no idea that they found the child on the planet. So when you really think about it, Sarek is telling Kirk, I need you to go find the corpse of my son. He never says it in those exact words, but technically that's what he's doing. It's not the search for Spock. Why is he doing this? Oh, because McCoy has had a mind meld with Spock, and in order to, for some odd reason, cure McCoy of this mind meld, you need Spock's corpse.
That's because it wasn't the mind meld. He had his Katra, his soul inside him.
Yes, but so basically what you're saying is you need to remove Spock's Katra from McCoy. The only way to do it is with Spock's corpse. He's not trying to find Spock. Technically, why is he doing all this? Because he wants to help McCoy. The movie's about McCoy, not Spock.
Well, to get that, you need to find Spock, whether it's his corpse or not, it's still Spock.
And that's
What?
also
No,
only one of the main plots in that movie.
No, but on top of that, right? How long has it been since Spock's corpse has been dumped on that planet? Right. So as far as Kirk knows,
A Genesis.
Doesn't matter. The planet
doesn't matter.
It's a dead planet. There's no life on it. But
Yes.
Spock's corpse is what provides it the necessary biological materials for the Genesis device to kickstart bringing life to that planet. Because there's nothing
Right.
there.
Right.
No, when they that actually no, because the Genesis planet is programmed. The Genesis bomb is programmed with the life. When Spock's coffin lands on the planet, there's already life on the planet.
Look, Kat,
not biological plant life.
I will agree with you that the Genesis device is a gigantic Deus Ex Machina.
Yes.
I'll give you that. It's a huge plot contrivance. Fine. I will give you that. That's not why I love that movie.
No, I'm just saying
I love that movie because it's about men grieving their friend, and it's also about Kirk discovers that he has a son in that. What happens to his son? And it's this sets up everything to come with him and the Klingons all the way through Star Trek 6.
That I agree with, but I'm just saying that plot-wise, the plot doesn't make very much sense because, I mean, if I were Kirk, I'd be like, so you want me to get his body? Basically, the entire plot of Star Trek: The Search for Spock indirectly counts on Kirk knowing Spock is alive.
Hey,
For it to make sense, really, Kirk knows that Spock is alive. Now, the way they could have changed that is if their transmission from the Reliant got through saying, we found this kid, a Vulcan kid on the planet, and Kirk hears about it. So he goes, interesting, we left Spock there. But without that...
Guess who that is?
Why are we bringing this asshole up?
What?
Who's that?
That has nothing to do with what we're talking about right
Oh
now.
dear God!
I know. I was gonna hold off. I didn't think you would bring it up right now, but I was gonna say something real quick, and then you brought it right up. I was like, well, okay,
wait, who is that? That's like skin and bone.
Well, let's go back to Star Trek. I don't want to talk about it.
Is it Bobblehead?
Yeah.
That's Bobblehead?
Yeah.
What happened to it? It looks like he's starving.
The movement happened. Is what happened.
Yeah,
but
no,
move past that.
I was
No. There's something wrong. The bones. You can see the bones.
Zeron says, "Damn it, Ryan."
Yeah, well, no, I didn't think Samuel because last time he's like, dude, just share it, and I was gonna put it in the private chat, and I was gonna tell him to hold on.
No. There looks like something is physically wrong with him.
Back Star Trek.
It looks like he's
Yeah,
ill.
he is, but we don't care. Frankly, he is in the bed that he has made. Fuck him.
True. So I mean, no, your points are really good ones. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that logically, the plot. It didn't even occur to me till a couple of years ago. I wait a minute. Kirk doesn't know that Spock is alive. This is actually doesn't make sense unless he knows that. So they could have just added that one thing where it's like, we got this transmission from the Reliant. They said they found this Vulcan child on the Genesis planet.
They do get that information later.
Later, they find out that Spock is, but by then, the initial reason they leave is to go find Spock's
this is why I don't have an issue with what Sarek said, because Sarek asks him to go find his son so that he can put him to rest.
Right.
Ultimately, that's what it has to be. And we're also talking about Vulcan mysticism, which Kirk understands is a thing, but doesn't fully understand. So he's just kind of going with it for the sake of his dead friend and the sake of his living one.
And wouldn't that be putting him to rest? You would need to find Spock to extract his soul from McCoy.
Why?
Why? Because you have two minds.
Why? The mind is
into one.
How many times have they dealt with mind melds without? No. Why? That doesn't make sense.
Okay, because
you're not moving his soul from McCoy to Spock's body.
He's would dead. Be.
No, because he's dead. You would be moving it from where they store the Catras. There's an area there they store the Catras. So you would not be moving Spock's mind. I remember reading about it because I read the novel. There's like the Hall of Catras where they store the Catras. So they would be removing the
right, but there's still rituals involving the body.
So why didn't Sarek, ambassador to Vulcan, go, I need this?
Instead, because Sarek understood more about what was actually going on than he told anybody.
He still is the ambassador to one of the most powerful allies to the Federation.
Doesn't matter. This was personal. He was playing it close to the vest.
Perhaps, but then so basically he's saying, yeah, Kirk, I need you to do a favor that's probably going to get you into a lot of trouble, break the law. That's some friend. Hey, Samuel, I have
sounds like
student
somebody-
loans. Can you, like,
I
get me
think that
some money
sounds
from the
more
bank?
like somebody who understands who Kirk is.
And it also sounds like someone who didn't trust the government and shouldn't trust government.
This is the Vulcan ambassador. One of the most
Who-
powerful allies.
Okay,
The
so
Federation would have undoubtedly said, whatever you want, Sarek.
No,
Yes.
no, they would not.
Yes,
No,
they
they
would.
would not. No, they would not.
Absolutely. This is
Oh.
Vulcan.
So,
Yes.
and
Probably one of the most important allies to the planet Earth in the Federation.
I'm-
It's one of the four founding
members.
worlds. Yeah.
Yes.
right,
They would
but
not
still,
have been like, oh,
but
Sarek, I'm sorry your son died in
Okay,
combat
but-
protecting
okay,
Earth, but we're not
okay,
going to go
but-
get his body.
okay, but that's like saying the UN is going to bend over backwards to help the US. No.
That is like saying, okay, that's like saying, like Samuel said, Brittany Griner. Okay, Brittany Griner.
There's no
We still have to
comparison
rescue her, even though, because she's an American citizen. Spock is a member of the Federation. He is a citizen of the Federation. Yeah, they would have gone. I have little doubt that if Sarek had said something,
not buying it.
eventually he would have easily gotten what he wanted. I'm getting what Samuel is saying. Those are valid points. But the plot is...
I
and
think
I
it's also
understand.
there's an implied time limit. Like the thing about the Katra, when you're talking about how why is it important that he gets him out of there, is because the struggle for dominance inside McCoy's head between the two souls is degrading both of them. There is a time limit.
Then again, why not just remove? It doesn't make sense that you need Spock's body, because think about it. How many times will there have been where the body is completely destroyed? Let's say, okay, a Vulcan transfers his capture to another Vulcan. Okay, they're on a ship. He says, "I need to save. I need to do this." The ship blows up. There's no body left. This has undoubtedly happened multiple times.
Thanks,
They're
Queen.
able to remove the soul and put it into their goal wasn't to remove Spock's soul to put it back into his body, because there is no body.
No, see, I would say that this is actually a highly unusual occurrence, because most people, especially on starships, are not aware that they're dying. It happens suddenly. Whereas in Spock's case, he knew he had limited time because he was dying of radiation. And so he knew that by going into that chamber that it was going to kill him, and he wasn't coming out. That's why he did the mind meld prior to going in. Most of your Vulcans and whatnot who serve on starships are not going to have that kind of warning first. They're going to die like everybody else.
It still happens that Kirk's father in the movie. Kirk's father knew that he was going to die. He was when he did the autopilot, and everyone left the ship. What's his name? I can't remember James Kirk's father's name. Tiberius, right? Or no, it's not. It wasn't. No. Oh my God, I'm forgetting Kirk's father's name.
Kirk's father's name was Tiberius. His
no, it was his grandfather. No, Kirk's father's name.
Fuck, I don't remember.
I'm freezing on that. But he knew he was going to die.
So
he was also not a Vulcan.
He's not
no, but I'm just saying. You're saying that most Vulcans are going to die like most. No, there are circumstances where,
sure,
it does not make.
But they're
any
not
sense.
that common,
Yes, but it does not make any sense that the only way to remove the soul from the Katra from McCoy.
Let me put it this way: like if you're looking at the JJ Kirk, right? George Kirk. Okay, so he says everybody abandoned ship, so everybody goes and they get into the fucking escape pods and they take off, right? A number of those escape pods were destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they were destroyed. I'm sure there were Vulcans on some of the ones who were destroyed. They had no warning. That's a lot more common.
But I'm just saying, logically, okay, like I said, I see what you're saying about the emotional side of it. There are plenty of stories, but I'm saying plot-wise, there are a lot of holes in this story.
Well, there are holes in every story.
Yeah, no, but to me, I think the most glaring one is the fact that most people don't pause and go, wait a minute, Kirk doesn't know that Spock is alive.
Because they're emotionally invested. That's not
Yes.
important to the
Yeah,
story at that
but
point. No.
but if you're like I said, that's why I watched the movie, and for years it did not occur to me. And then only recently, a couple years ago, I went, wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense. When I started to really look at the story, I'm like, so I get the emotionalism to the story, but plot-wise, it's got a lot of holes. That's one of the reasons why I don't like the original series TV show. I like the books. I love Kirk, Spock, and McCoy. McCoy is one of my favorite characters because I read the books first. And to me, the books are better than the TV show.
Well, Kat is officially not invited when we get around to Star Trek: The Original Series on
I was going to
Sundays.
say, I don't imagine she's going to be watching our original series breakdowns.
No, you know how often people say the book is better than the movie? I saw the movies.
Well, yeah, all the time.
All the time. So for me, I saw the Star Trek movies, but then I read the novels. I did not know, as crazy as it sounds, because I did not have television, I did not know there was a Star Trek TV series. And then one day I went into the bookstore and found that they by chance had a book called Star Trek: The Original Series Episode Guide. And I went, wait a minute, there's a TV show. And then I started looking online. So for me, Star Trek: The Original Series is the exact same thing. The books are better than the TV show. The TV show cannot compare to the novels. The novels are great. Some of those novels are phenomenal. So yeah.
Well, because this is one of those rare occasions where the visual story came before the written story.
In fact, I read the novels of I saw Star Trek 4, and that's it. I then read the novelizations for the movie. So I've read Star Trek the Motion Picture all the way through, novel-wise. I even read William Shatner's books. They're okay. Wow. They are a little Kirk-centric. His autobiographies are hilarious.
I wonder why.
They are very Kirk-centric, but they're also
I wonder why.
No, but they're also, yeah, I get it, they're very Kirk-centric, but they're also very creative. He's very creative.
No, it's not the only things that he's written. He has the whole tech war, tech noir, tech war series.
Yeah, no, he's a very creative author, and I would not say they're that bad. Yes, they're very Kirk-centric, but they're very good. I've read all of them. I've read his autobiographies. As I said, to me, these Star Trek novels are so much better than the books.
I mean, that's a personal preference thing.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, and like I said, you know, the reason that I like Star Trek 3, I think Star Trek 3 is a damn good third film. I really do. And I think that overlooking, you know, for the moment, the glaring plot hole of Kirk not understanding fully what's going on and just kind of rolling with it, which I don't see as a plot hole. I see that as part of his character. But and especially given the circumstances, and also the fact that him doing this favor for Sarek sets up Sarek speaking at his trial in Star Trek 6.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he didn't do that for him as a professional courtesy. He did that for him to pay him back for the favor that was done in 3.
Yes, I read Probe. I love Probe.
But you know, I think and then you meet David, and David ends up meeting a Klingon knife, which sets up everything.
No,
that
I
Kirk
agree.
feels about Klingons from that point on. It informs his character beautifully, especially when you get to Star Trek 6, which is my favorite of the OT movies. It's fucking awesome.
Yes, I love
Great villain, excellent characters, beautiful dialogue,
I agree. And then the conversation between Spock and Kirk in the conference room is great.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, one of my favorites. Look, as I said, the plot holes aside, I agree with what you're saying. In fact, Sarek is one of my favorite characters. You see a lot more of him when you read the books, because people treat Sarek like that horrible, mean father. But when you read the books, you realize that, of course, Sarek loved his son. When he didn't want him to go to Starfleet, it wasn't because he was being the mean Vulcan father. He was being a father who loved his son. I've read Sarek. I've read Spock's World. I've read the Sarek. The one about the. Oh God! There was one about fires on Vulcan. It was written by they developed these two characters that I think it was the authors of the Immunity Syndrome. The Vulcan Academy Murders. The Vulcan Academy Murders was really, really good too. And no, I read Sarek. I love the character of Sarek. Federation. He's in Federation.
I'm not saying it. Look, a lot of those books were quite good. A lot of the Star Trek books were good because they were written by people who cared about it,
Yes.
and some of whom happened to be professional authors who were actually good at it too. But they, that's not really what the question was, though, right? So we were talking about good third movies, and I brought
Yeah.
up Star Trek 3.
Because I like Star Trek 6. I'm not a big fan of Star Trek 3. I see where you're coming from, but I'm not a big fan of Star Trek 3. I think there's too many plot holes for me. But
No, fair enough. I get dumped on for liking fucking Return of the Jedi better than Empire Strikes Back too. I think it's a better movie character wise.
I get dunked on for liking Titanic.
Well, that's because
Yeah.
Titanic sucks and Rose killed Jack.
And you're a guy. Usually women are the ones who like Titanic.
Fuck you, bitch.
Are we gonna start calling you she, her? He didn't answer no.
I'm not answering. I'm not going to dignify that with an answer.
I think Samuel, I think my opinion would be different if I watched the show first and then read the books. The problem is, as I said, I read the books first. So it's like when you read the book before you watch the movie. Then you look at the movie and you go, "Oh, this sucks." It's the same thing for me. I read the books first. There's some really great. I mean, one of the best ones is also Shadows on the Sun, which tells the story of McCoy, which made me really love McCoy. It tells about his divorce and what happened to him. And it's a really good look into the character of McCoy, which is, I love the character of McCoy. So I think,
and that's I don't have an issue with that, Cat. I actually encourage people to read. I think reading is fundamental. But I also think that there's a lot of merit to the original series that you're overlooking.
as I said, yeah, and there's a lot of merit to a lot of the movies. But again, if you were to give me, I'm not a big fan of the TV show. I would rather read the books. I even read the original series, the books. There is by oh god, I can't remember what his name was. I used to remember his name. His name started with like a B. He actually wrote out the episodes. He actually wrote out the episodes. He also wrote out, I think another person wrote out the animated series in like collection guides. Not guides, but like collected short stories.
Fair enough. Ryan, you doing okay, buddy?
Everyone seems to be leaving whenever I go on.
No, I'm just off camera because I was yawning and stuff. But I mean, I don't have anything to add to this. I haven't seen any of this stuff.
Oh, okay. No, I thought maybe that you got real mad because we said that.
You have
not. No, I don't have anything to add. I haven't seen any of this. I mean, I could sit here and nod, but it's
no. And we will get to that. And by the way, that reminds me, quick shameless plug. Sundays we are doing Star Trek reviews. We're in the middle of season 3 of Picard right now. Episode 6 this week.
Not Deep Space Nine.
We started with Picard. It was just a Picard review, and then as things went on, we kind of decided we wanted to keep doing this. So after this, we're going back to the beginning with the original series, and then we're going into the Next Generation, and then Deep Space Nine, and then Voyager, and then Enterprise.
Damn, coffee's wearing off, I guess.
All right, you know what? I don't know if I should ask this now, or I mean, do you want my critical, annoying view? Because clearly I'm annoying.
No, because I haven't watched it, so no, you hush your mouth.
Well, I haven't watched that most of the third season. After Spock's brain, I was completely out.
Well, the Spock's brain was a bad episode.
Yeah, that's why I knew the third season was awful. So
it's honestly, it's probably the worst episode in the whole season.
Oh yeah, I know it's definitely the worst one in the whole season.
There are better episodes. The third season's not all bad.
Oh yeah, no, I've watched most of the episodes of the whole original series. I just like the books better. James Blish, yes, James Blish.
No, but that's fine. You can have your opinion. I'm gonna go have my opinion with this people. It's fine. Excuse me, guys. I'm going home.
You're doing it.
Kick her from the stream. Kick her now.
I'm gonna kick her from the stream. She's part of the show.
Besides, I mean,
we kick Shadow from the stream all the time.
Shadow's a guest.
No, but on top of that, it shows you that I, as a fan of I genuinely like the characters of Spock, Kirk, and McCoy. And I feel like their relationship and their friendship is more thoroughly developed in the books. So in a way, I like Star Trek more than all of you because I wanted to get so much Kirk, Spock, and McCoy. I would read 200 to 300 pages of a novel in like a 2-day period.
Bye, Cat.
Yeah.
I'm a better Star Trek fan than all of you. I read. You watched Star Trek 3. Did you know that David and what's her name, Savick had sex?
Yes.
In the books, they did kind of implied it, but in the books it was pretty clear they had a thing going.
It's implied pretty fucking heavily.
Yes, but it's not the same as reading about it. I read Star Trek 3.
It is. You don't. No. It is because the writers of Star Trek 3 didn't treat their audience like fucking idiots and allowed us to be able to pick up on clues like that.
That's true. That's
and they weren't that subtle about it.
True. I couldn't tell because I'd already read.
Yeah,
the
jerk.
I read the book before I watched the movie. Mr. Star Trek 3 is my favorite movie. Did you read the novel?
I didn't say it was my favorite movie. I said it was a good third movie.
It's a good third movie. Did you read the novel?
Why would I read a novelization when I can fucking watch it? Most of the time, novelizations are crap.
No, these are actually pretty good.
And most novelizations are crap.
Okay,
By extension, that would lead me to think that maybe the Star Trek novelizations are not as good as the movies either.
Okay,
right? There are very few that I would qualify as better than the movies. And like Total Recall, for example, the novelization by Piers Anthony, far superior to the fucking movie.
Yes.
Which is also, by the way, based on somebody else's novel, but that's not important.
And I'm kind of not following your jive that just because you read the novelization of a film means that you're a bigger fan of that film.
I'm saying that I like the character.
No, I don't believe you.
Because I wanted to take the extra step and take the time to read 200 or 300 pages about the characters and learn more about the characters themselves and the story.
I don't think necessarily fandom boils down to also who's a better fan. Like I think
it's me being facetious. I don't genuinely think that I'm a better fan than Samuel.
Jokes, huh?
I was joking.
Shadow jokes.
I mean, it was pretty obvious.
Yeah.
I was joking.
I need more coffee because I'm.
I don't know because that.
Yes, I was joking.
Because that joke landed like a shadow joke. I'm just saying.
I mean, it was pretty obvious I was joking because I know Samuel's a pretty big Star Trek fan. I think it was pretty obvious that I was joking.
Well, I mean, if it wasn't before, it is now.
Yeah, it is now. There we go.
I'm just fucking with you. But does that look like somebody who makes jokes about fandom?
No, I beat them into you with the controller.
I never. I don't show that meme often enough. That one makes.
No, you don't.
I like that one. That was a good one. Not as much as I don't show Cat's favorite meme though.
Thing is, I don't understand what's with the hair.
It's because he's a big black dick.
It's a dick pic.
No, I can understand that, but what's with the hair?
It's just because it's funny. It's that there's no purpose for that aside from the fact that Tucker Carlson's face is on the end of it, and he needs some hair, so we gave him an afro with a hair pick.
It's also the afros because it's a giant black dildo.
Who would want a giant dildo with an afro at the end of it?
I don't know. Maybe it tickles the cervix better.
I don't know.
It's a meme, woman.
That's
it doesn't have to make sense.
It doesn't need to make sense. It's a meme.
Well, logically speaking,
I don't actually have a blue dildo in my house. Shocker, I know, right?
You know.
And on that cheery note, everybody, I would like to take this moment to remind you all that I am indeed running for president.
I'm running for vice president with you. Come on.
Blue dildos for every household if I get elected.
Blue raspberry.
Yeah. The blue raspberry special.
God, I got to cut down on some of these memes, though. They're kind of clogging up my shit here. But yeah.
It's one for each household. If he's elected. It's a campaign promise right there.
That's a campaign promise made by somebody who's not in the campaign.
When I was working at the store, we had a whole movie section, right? And I would get pissed off, and I'm like, why don't you alphabetize them? I'm like, this doesn't make any sense at all. And they looked at me, they're like, you're talking like a librarian. I'm like, I worked it. It's like, you got to forget all your time in the library to understand retail.
All right.
I
Oh wow.
I know
Okay.
Clue's having a laugh here. For those of you out there who are relatively new to the dynamic here and all that stuff, just understand we argue about stuff. It's fine.
Yeah.
We're gonna be. We were friends before this. We're gonna be friends after this. It happens.
I don't know about now. I'm just saying.
Except for that fucking guy.
The shit stir. Zenny, I don't care if you don't want one. You will get one. It will be shipped to your house.
Hey, don't be talking to Zenny. She's cool. She rides horses.
Well, she gets a blue raspberry. She can ride something else too.
No.
Make it a horse one. Oh, a blue horse.
Oh God.
No. Mr. Hands.
I've never seen Ford versus. Is it named Ford versus Ferrari?
Yeah, that's the movie.
That's
Ford
supposed to be
versus
a good movie?
Ford versus Chevy is a debate.
Longtime rival.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a debate.
I always side with Ford because I come from a Mustang family.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Crappy cars.
Well, I'm going to be controversial now, and I'm going to go with the VW.
She's tired for charity who supports the people.
My grandmother had a yellow VW Bug. It was awesome.
I think we mentioned this last night. Now, actually, German engineering's no joke, but we did mention something last night about how sometimes the most amazing things are created by the ugliest of civilizations. For example, the VW Bug and the Autobahn.
Mm-hmm. All creators out there, you got to see the truth because they're running Jack.
Schnell.
Though, can I just say, didn't VW release a more modernized version of the VW Bug?
Yeah, and it sucks.
Yeah, but shouldn't they make Bumblebee that?
I think they did at one point per minute.
Because that's what
in
when
the first movie, that's what it
No, it was the older version.
It was in Bumblebee. Yeah, it was Bumblebee.
But
which speaking of, I just watched Rise of the Beast too earlier today.
Is that right? He said it sucked.
Okay, just because someone says it sucks, that doesn't mean it sucks.
That's why I said that it was as right. Does it suck? So you can say no, Cat.
I could have sworn I heard somebody else say that it was a really good time too recently.
And Chris Gore said, that it was really good.
Yeah, said it was. Also, who else said it was? Tom
was
did.
It on Ballbusters? Tom did. Yes, last night.
Tom said last night that it was actually good 90s fun. That it wasn't bad. So I'm gonna watch it. Well, I was gonna watch it anyway because I'm gonna review it. But
likewise,
it's the first weekend, so I wasn't gonna review it till after.
As I said on my tweet, which is no big surprise, but I watched a 2-hour I watched a 2-hour of $350 million commercial for toys.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. That's what
all
the fucking 80s and 90s cartoons were. They were fucking commercials for toys.
That's the fact is the toy lines came first.
Right.
The cartoons came later. The same is true of Masters of the Universe.
Right.
And He-Man, and even to a lesser extent, GoBots, if anybody remembers them.
Yeah,
I do.
GoBots, yeah.
Or like the Silverhawks also were toys. They created a cartoon to market.
The Thundercats.
Voltron. I had Voltron. Those were metal fucking cats, man.
Power Rangers is a ripoff of Voltron.
It is.
No, it is. But they did it better. Let's be honest.
Yeah, but
I had the Voltron. I had the Voltron. Fucking, I did. I had the toys, but Power Rangers.
So basically, not a non-spoiler review. The stuff that when we originally talked about the film and the actors and their perspectives from their neighborhoods, kind of stuff. Ryan, remember that?
Yeah. That is
jammed in the first 20 minutes of the film, and after that it's never even mentioned again.
Okay, cool. See, I can handle that. Yeah, I won't knock it for that then. So unlike
but it is completely unnecessary to the entire
of course it is. course.
Even the arcs, it's completely unnecessary.
Including Bumblebee. What does this make this? The 7th Transformer movie?
Something like that.
I don't know. I stopped counting. The Transformers
Because
movies for me are kind of like the Pirates movies. I don't really
yeah,
care.
Well,
but see, I love Pirates of the Caribbean, so I'm all for them. Yeah,
well, this is because this is more a sequel to the
Bumblebee.
the Bumblebee film as opposed to the Bay films.
Yeah. I mean, they're all set in the same universe, but yeah, no, it's definitely a sequel to Bumblebee, which I really liked Bumblebee. I thought it was a good movie. Haley Steinfeld did a great job. I
didn't see it.
Steinfeld. It's very, very attractive young lady.
I didn't see it.
Doesn't talk out her ass, which is good.
For the same reason that I didn't really care much for the earlier Transformers films either. It isn't the Transformers parts that I have a problem with. It isn't even the Michael Bay-ness of it that I have a problem with. It's the fact that they spend like fucking most American, nonsense, way too much time focusing on the humans and the human dynamics and the human feelings and the human interactions. I just want to see giant robots knock the snot out of each other. That's the only reason anybody goes to see these fucking movies.
Right.
It's the same thing with kaiju movies. Like when Legendary started doing these Godzilla movies, they fucked up. And the reason they fucked up is because I don't give a shit about Aaron Taylor Johnson. I want to see Godzilla fuck a motherfucking Muto up.
Yeah, right. I don't. I'm not a huge fan of the modern Godzilla movies are fine. I'm not a huge fan of them though. I remember the original.
The only place
Godzilla's like
humans have in a kaiju movie is for the squishing and the screaming. That's it.
Right.
Yeah, I mean the Godzilla movies literally have parodies of like Japanese people running because that's what the original ones were. It was all about the Godzilla and the monsters. Mecha Godzilla, Mothra, all that stuff. Yeah.
Hey, Larry.
He's not wrong.
Hey, Larry, what's up? Sammy just like cat.
Wait, what?
And I've watched all of the and I've watched all the modern ones, all the ones that are all on Max. The Monarch is the central plot theme.
I've watched them all too, and they're not terrible films.
No,
they're not
terrible
kaiju films either.
But just like those, this film spends way too much time on the humans, and I'm like, I don't care. I
would agree.
I mean, it was fine back in the Michael Bay days when we were staring at Megan Fox's ass, as she glistened in the sun. That was fine. Yeah. But I don't like the we're just gonna spend all this time talking about Sam Witwicky's fucking family dynamics and how his mom caught him masturbating once, and she's saying it out loud because she's toked a little bit up on a fucking joint that they found that they forgot about in the fucking 70s. What does that have to do with giant robots fucking each other up?
Nothing.
Nothing. Just for the humor, because the giant robots are like outside the house, like trying to hide from the humans. That was all it was for the ha-has.
Fucking retarded.
But that was around what? When did
that's in the second movie.
Yeah, that's in the first movie when they're hiding up against the house because
right. No, I was thinking of like college.
That was 2007-ish when it came out, right?
Give or take. I think it was 06, 07, somewhere in there.
So, I mean, you also got to think about the fact, though, too, is that Iron Man came out in 2008-ish. So, you're talking about a lot of the movies were kind of doing the lulls, So, I mean, that just kind of seemed to launch a genre of the lulls in, serious like superhero style. I mean, you could say the Transformers are kind of like in the hero genre, right? And so I mean that's when like the ha-has kind of came out.
Kind of, yeah.
So I mean it is kind of par for the course. I mean, look, I'm not saying that it's.
I was just gonna say with that that Meg is in the new Expendables film now.
Is she really?
You haven't seen a trailer for that? Yeah, it just
I
dropped the
haven't
other day.
seen it. Well, I haven't that. I'm technically behind on the Expendables movie because this is number 5?
4.
4? Okay,
yes,
so then
4 already?
So I've seen 1 and 2. I've missed 3. I need to watch 3. Okay, 2006 Primal. Thank you.
They
It's still roughly around the same time when the lull hero movies came out. With a little bit cheekiness to them. Because Superman Returns was 2004, and it wasn't funny. It was very serious. But after kind of like that didn't do as good is when they kind of started to get into the lighter side of superheroes and hero movies in general. Just my opinion.
For that shit.
Why you cussing, man?
By the way, did you know there's a ridiculous
I'm gonna swear all I like. Fuck you.
books called The Nitpicker's Guide to Star Trek, and each one of them would go through every one of the episodes, nitpicking all the details and telling you all the weird stuff and all the continuity.
She made it as long as she could. Kick her.
What?
I don't know. I just want to be an ass. I'm just fucking around.
I
being a dick.
I just thought that was pretty cool because I sold all my Star Trek books a couple of years back. It's a long story, but those were really cool. There's Nitpicker's Guide to Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and it would include different quotes and like.
We're gonna be watching some Deep Space Nine.
I would love to watch Deep Space Nine.
That's on the. We're gonna start with the original series, then Next Generation, then Deep Space Nine. Then we're gonna go through Voyager. I think we're gonna stop there. I don't think we're going to go. We said we're not.
Shadow will kill you,
right?
Shadow will hate you. He loves Enterprise.
Okay.
He will not stop. He will not shut up about Archer.
You fucking Enterprise on his own.
Well, he's not.
Why not? Honestly, I have to give.
He should. It would be good content for him. He should. And you know what? Quite frankly, if we stop at Voyager, I might be interested in seeing about Enterprise. I know it wasn't the best, but it was decent. I heard.
I'm gonna. It's the first 2 seasons are slow. It takes a minute to find its footing, but that's also true of the Next Generation.
That's very true. It's very true. The first season of Next Generation is a slog.
Yes.
Well, because the next generation didn't pick up steam until the introduction of the Borg, and one of the most watched episodes ever was the season premiere after Mr. Worf fire. We had to wait an entire summer, and that's almost all anyone talked about.
Well, I absolutely love the X-Files, and I think the first 2 seasons are a bit of a slog for me. It wasn't until like 3 and 4 that I was like, oh, these got really good. Now, obviously, you can argue a little bit that the last couple seasons kind of fell off,
Oh God, yes.
But I still love them, though. I love all of them.
I believe the Borg was introduced in season 3.
Yeah, 3. Yeah, it was season 3.
So, but and that's the same thing is true. I think that Deep Space Nine also got off to a rocky and slow start. Same thing is true of Voyager. This is like a typical thing for Star Trek spinoffs.
It's also a typical thing for, in my opinion, for sci-fi. It has to find its footing.
Well, the Sarah Connor Chronicles first season is slow as shit. Second season is really good, but most people didn't make it past that, and as a result, their ratings suffered and they were canceled.
Right, and just
sucks because it was a cliffhanger.
And then Ryan, just going with the season 3 thing, the show that we've been talking about, it wasn't until season 3 at the end when it's like, oh shit.
Yeah. Game of Thrones. I mean, look, you could even argue too that season 1 of House of the Dragon had its lulls. Where it's like, it was a little, but I mean, I love every bit of it.
Well, yeah,
I have a feeling season 2 after is going to be fucking fire. It's going to be fucking intense, and it's going to be fucking incredible. And then people are going to go, it's funny. I just think it's a fantasy thing, in my opinion, that fantasy shows are a little slow to start, and then they pick up because they really get their footing with the story.
Well, that's kind of what I'm getting at with Enterprise. That once you get to the Xindi storyline in the 3rd season, it gets much, much better.
I mean, look, I don't know. Sorry, JB, go ahead. You said something
because there are some unhappy folks over in Dallas because who was supposed to be there and had to cancel? Patty Considine.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he lives across the pond. It's not the easiest.
Right,
Yeah.
but he was scheduled to be there, and he had to cancel.
Oh, that's
Yes.
Carrie, if I
I would
if
love to
I
meet him.
Carrie, if I
Yeah.
agreed with even if I agreed with you there, it's still better than fucking STD.
Oh,
By leaps and bounds, leagues. Go watch first season of STD. Go back and watch Enterprise. Tell me you don't see a difference.
Well, okay. From what? Okay, so as somebody who's watched through 9 episodes of Discovery so far, I haven't continued it. No. I heard. So what? Season 3 is when they jump to the future.
It's the end of season 2. Yeah. Then
Is it okay? Yeah. So it's so even as bad as that is, at least I'm kind of intrigued by the car wreck, and also at the same time I was like, why the hell are they talking like I didn't realize it was a prequel at first. Um, like I'll probably stop watching the car wreck at the end of season 2 because the fact that they're jumping 60,000 years in the future sounds fucking retarded.
Well, they're doing
Yeah.
that because everything that they wrote them into a fucking corner, and if they went any further with it, it would fuck with continuity too much, and they'd lose every viewer.
Well, I'm surprised they didn't do that because isn't like we'll get rid of the toxicness. So
no, it's not like a get rid of the toxicness kind of thing. It's like the mechanics that they wrote into the fucking plot were going to unravel the fucking universe.
Okay.
Like
Well,
they painted themselves into a corner and they fucking knew it. That's
Okay.
why they made the time jump.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm just not surprised they didn't try to
Yeah.
they didn't kind of step on continuity a little bit and go, well, I mean, it kind of works like Star Wars has done. I mean, they've stepped all over the shit out of the continuity of Star Wars. They're muddling the fucking waters like it's like going out of style.
Well, that was by design.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So I'm kind of surprised Kurtzman was like, well, we're in charge now, so we'll take, just like, well,
See,
this
I think
doesn't
that
make.
attitude is where it got them to a point where they had no choice but to write the time jump.
I guess maybe I don't know. I have not watched. I have not watched it. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know either.
But
there's
the fact that it's a sorry, just real quick, the fact that it's a prequel to the original series, I find laughable because it's like just looking at the show itself and the basis of it, it makes no sense to me.
Enterprise is also a prequel. It takes place before Star Trek Discovery does.
Yeah.
It does?
Yeah.
Yes.
Jesus Christ, fucking hell! I'm gonna go get the coffee. What the fuck?
Yeah. No, they inserted Discovery in between Enterprise and the original series. That's the time in which it takes place. But it's also in the Kelvin timeline, where they've got flashy phasers and shit.
Well, so that makes sense because isn't Kurtzman a student of JJ?
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
That's why with the dark bridges and the lens flares and the rapid fire phaser pistols that fire bolts rather than beams and that sort of thing. All of that comes from JJ Trek, and yeah, the Discovery timeline isn't even in like the main canon universe. It's in the Kelvin timeline, which doesn't make sense because in order to get to the Kelvin timeline, you've got to wait until almost fucking Picard's time before the event that sets everything off to create the Kelvin timeline in the fucking first place, which was the destruction of Romulus.
Right.
I hate that. To me was so cheap. First they pollute Praxis. Then like, oh, our next villain, what do we do about the Romulans? I know, let's do the exact same thing. And it was like, really, it was just so dumb.
What do you mean Kennedy? You talking about Kathleen Kennedy? That's Disney, man. That's they don't. That's Star Trek is Paramount.
Yeah, no, that's Kurtzman.
Yeah.
Well, Kurtzman has fucked Star Trek in the ass with a dildo.
Well, I mentioned Star Wars, so that's just why that.
Yeah.
I just came in the middle of it. I just heard Kennedy, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah. I was thinking about Kurtzman, because Kurtzman has fucked Star Trek up like
Kennedy's pegging everything she comes across. I'm sorry, fellas. I've been kind of sounding raspy and coughing a little bit today. I don't know what's going on.
Just drink
too much penis, huh?
The whiskey.
I think I just haven't had enough. Like Joker's saying, I haven't enough whiskey and cigarettes.
You know what? Speaking of, I'm gonna take a shot and then go have a smoke.
I don't have any alcohol in the house, so you know.
Oh, he's
I
gonna
can't.
straight up do that shit on camera, is he?
Oh, he does that all the time. Go nuts.
Well, I don't smoke on cameras because I can't smoke in my house. So
Yeah,
So-
well, I think there's some YouTube like rule about that too.
No, there's not. No, one of the streamer that I watched getting started, he was into video game and stuff like that on stream. He actually smokes
I'll be
cigars.
right back.
No, I'm pretty sure I heard something about it being in part of in some of the newer TOS. It might just be content that's geared towards kids, which makes sense.
Well, anything geared towards kids, you can't make money on either.
Yeah, well, you can't, like you don't swear, you don't smoke, you don't drink, you don't,
Yeah, you
obviously do what that Twitch streamer did and only got a 7-day ban for.
Oh yeah.
You mean inserting a penis into a vagina on stream?
Yeah, fully visible in the reflection on the wall or on the window. Yeah,
Fucking hell, God bless. And these ass bags, like these are the assholes. Like 7-day suspension. But if you talk about a certain political event, permanently banned. Our priorities are all fucked up in this country. Yeah. And it's all run by ass bags in large corporations who make too much fucking money and they collude with the government.
Yeah. Yeah, that's about the size of it.
They're the corpus.
Hey, I will give you.
I'm kidding.
No, I was going to actually say afterwards. I would say that they are fascistic. I will give you that much, but they're not communists. They're definitely not communists. They would actually consider it a very high insult to call them communist.
Well, communists don't like it when you call them communists either.
No. What are you talking about? I got schooled by my mom and my brother, who make like 3 times at least as much as I do, probably more, about China and how great China is doing economically and communism. And I'm looking at
they're not really communists.
Well, my brother was also. My mom brought up China. My brother brought up communism, and I'm looking.
No,
at
I'm not.
like,
I'm not talking about China. I'm talking about your mom and your brother.
They're they're really definitely not communists. But it's interesting how they these anyway.
Yeah.
No, the corpus are definitely not communists. Fascistic, definitely. The maybe, as I said, it's a taking our. I would almost say the WEF, the idea of corporate running the whole world, kind of thing, where the companies are in charge, and it reminds me. There was a science fiction show at one point about that, where privatized. They bought the government. It started with I think it was called Continuum.
That may have been a thing. I don't know. I didn't watch Continuum. I heard about it, but I didn't watch it.
It's like she travels backwards in time.
No different than like OCP and RoboCop, for example. Owns Detroit.
Yes.
Owns the cops. Owns the government.
In Back to the Future 2, where Biff actually owns Hilldale. Mm-hmm. He runs Hilldale.
Yeah. So you have multiple corporations that are basically in charge of, but it's not even they're in charge of the solar system. They're a portion of the market, because even the entire market is not run by the corpus. There are people who are outside of the corpus.
Yeah. Carrie, no. The reason you're not seeing his stuff in chat is because
I'm Clue's favorite.
Yeah. Like we're running this simultaneously on 3 channels and Twitter.
Yep.
And I'm Clue's favorite. You guys could be jealous, but I'm Clue's favorite.
So I see all of the chats from everywhere, but you guys will only see the chats that are in the chat that you're actually in.
Yeah.
Oh, Clue saw Continuum. Awesome. I thought I was the only one. I think I saw the first season of it, and I thought it was really interesting. I couldn't get my hands on the second season.
Yeah, well, you can see this now, Carrie.
I mean, it's funny, but it's not necessarily true. That's what it is funny.
I laughed pretty fucking hard. And
I don't block people. I don't like.
I don't think Clue blocked him.
No. I'm talking about like I was going to say on Twitter. You know how you get all these morons on Twitter, like, oh my god, I don't block anybody on anyway. But no, long story short, I don't know why.
No, I took blocking in a different direction. Most people say they block people because they harass them. I don't block people because I realize it's one way of putting down the message of I don't care what you're saying, because sometimes people keep tweeting at me, and I'm like, I don't care. It's not like you're threatening me. It's not like I feel harassed. It's not like I don't care at all, and it's fucking annoying getting constant alerts on my phone about how you're tweeting about. Oh my god! Don't you? I don't know how I got dragged into something about anyway, but so I was like, you're not even worth my time. I'm not even gonna bother. So it's my way of saying, yeah, I don't care.
So the majority of the time, Clue was on my channel, and then he hopped. So I think he's kind of bouncing around, messing with Carrie. I think that's what he's doing. Because he said,
still Clue's favorite.
He said, "Would you ban the last thing he said on my chat was watch 2 seasons of Continuum. It's good." And then he said pretty good, and that was it. And I think he bounced to another chat. So yeah, he's favorite. He's messing with people.
I'm still his favorite.
Oh, he said, he's in my chat. Okay.
Yeah, I like muting, but this way I am basically, it's like putting your hand up and saying talk to the hand. It's like slamming your door in their face. It's like, I'm here to tell you about the joys of wokeness.
Like Jehovah's Witnesses. See, that's why I have a Ring doorbell. I don't answer.
I'm gonna attach something to my doorbell. We were talking a little bit about this last night on I don't remember if it was on Abyssal Musings or if it was after the fact, but I think it was on Abyssal Musings. I want to attach something, a mechanism to my doorbell where it doesn't actually set off anything inside the house when I hear it. But what it does do is it opens up a trap door with fucking sharpened stakes at the bottom of it that may or may not be coated in septic fluids.
I believe that would be called murder.
It's not murder. It's my property.
Yeah, because you know exactly what Allah is thinking. Appreciate that. Thank you for the telepathic connection directly to God. I love it how people like,
especially if I especially if they open my gate and come on there and I have signs posted everywhere saying enter at your own risk.
Well, if you put no trespassing,
yeah.
But still they might be. Well, okay, where you live, with no trespassing, yeah, you could probably actually get away with that.
Also, where I live, where it takes the cops like an hour to get out some of the houses in the boonies.
Yeah, yeah, you probably could.
Mm-hmm. And all I have to do is close the door, close the trap door.
Well, I mean, you would have.
I mean, I'd soundproof it obviously, so people couldn't hear the screams and shit, but.
You would obviously have to dispose of said. I mean, you'd have to report it to the police, because if you didn't, then it would be then if you did something with the remains, they could get you on tampering with a corpse.
I wouldn't. No, that's what I'm saying. I would leave them right where they are.
Well,
I just close the trap door, have it sound.
Well, it's going to attract animals. You realize that, right?
Well, eventually, yeah.
Why are we talking about this?
I don't know. Because I'm in a morbid mood.
Samuel, you want to know the easiest way to get the Jehovah's Witnesses to not come to your house?
I know the easiest way.
Well, I was going to say we never have them come, and I'm pretty sure I know it's because we have the Quranic verse that was hung right over the mailbox in Arabic.
No, I'm sure that they don't do that. But if you don't have that, folks, the easiest way to get them to leave your house alone is to tell them that you're a Mormon.
I just answer the door naked.
No, they'll come back. If you just answer the door naked, and I know this because I've done that, and they came back. No, you tell them you're a Mormon because they believe that you're a lost cause and you're going directly to hell, and they don't want anything to do with you. They don't want your presence to stain their chance to get into heaven.
Well, what if you were to say to them, brother, I'm a Jehovah's Witness too. Thank you, but you know what? I've already received the message.
They would ask you questions. Where do you go?
They'd want proof.
Yeah.
Here's what you're missing. Jehovah's Witnesses are not allowed legally to have fun.
No, they're not. They are because their entire belief structure is based off of a verse in, I believe it's a Revelation where they talk about the 144,000. They believe that is the max capacity for heaven is 144,000.
So why are they recruiting?
Why convert people if only a small number of people are going to? Wouldn't you think that it would be?
They'll tell you it's because they don't know which of them are getting in.
Right. So
I would rather have a higher chance of me being one of them.
Also, misery. Sorry, dude. Go ahead. My bad.
So basically, they're like, so God is up in heaven, and he's like, okay, we're almost at capacity. I need to make room. Okay, to hell with you. To hell with you. To hell with you. To hell with you. Okay, we got 3 more spots for this next quarter. Go.
What? It's not like a club, dude. It's like once you're in, but everybody else is out. You know, it's the whole premise is kind of flawed in that respect. You know, and I don't. You guys know me. I don't like to actually I don't mock people for their beliefs. They want to believe this stuff. That's fine. I just disagree with them. I think that in some cases this is kind of loony, and I think it logically makes no sense. And if they are indeed following the God of Abraham, he is also a God of logic.
And I generally view which is the reason why these two topics are not spoken at in bars, politics and religion.
Maybe not in the bars where you live, but people get shot out here over that.
Oh, they try. Believe me, they try in my bar, and I get accused. I get accused of being a commie lefty because I don't want MAGA talk going throughout my bar. I'm like, no, talk about something else. But what I was saying is, I view religion and politics as basically the same thing. It is a small concentration of folks trying to control masses of folks by keeping them scared and keeping them stupid.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'd say that the organizations themselves probably. I don't know if that necessarily applies to faith and belief as so much as it does that the organizations. Rather, I think that in a lot of cases, historically, especially, or certain religious organizations have absolutely used that to keep control of a lesser. I don't mean lesser as in lesser people, but as in less educated, often illiterate population.
Yeah, the Catholic Church.
Well, there's a reason that for a long time the Catholic Church only allowed Bibles to be handwritten in Latin. Because that was the language of the scholarly, and it was the language that only the clergy knew, and they were the only ones who could read anyway, so it didn't matter what language it was in, really. But there's a reason for that. The printing press was a revolution.
Wait a minute, one sec, because I think
I smell smoke. Oh, it's just cat's gears turning.
Oh wow. Yes,
the only reason I said it is because she made half a thought, and I was like, okay.
No, well, I remember my dad saying that reading was actually highly encouraged, and
not
reading
by the
of
Catholic
Arabic.
Church, no, it wasn't.
I'm not saying in the Catholic Church. No, I'm saying in Islam, and that there were whole schools in mosques. In fact, in the early history, when the Prophet himself was still alive, when they would capture prisoners of war, all sides did this. When they captured prisoners of war, they would ransom them.
That comment is her desk.
Catching
on fire.
The ransom would be to teach people to read. They would be allowed to go free, the prisoners of war, if they taught people to read.
No, unfortunately the Catholic Church took Christianity in a little bit more of a guilty, grumpy direction.
Yeah.
That's one reason you get the different branches, because
according to them, they were the first church. Now that's not 100% accurate. They were a thing that emerged from the early Christians, but it was not the first church. They will tell you that they are, but that's not true.
And then there's the joke that the Lutherans are the same religion, half the guilt.
Sure. Yeah. But that where I was going with this, what I was getting at was that for hundreds of years, they were the only church. So then you get the Protestants, the ones who split off. You got your Lutherans, you've got your Calvinists, you got
Methodists.
Methodists, so what have you. Eventually you get to the Church of England, which is identical to the Roman Catholic Church, except they allow you to divorce.
And marry.
Yeah, it was all due to the Roman Catholic Church.
Well, that was
basically.
the Church of England was a purely political move. It was created by Henry VIII, who also
Yep.
placed himself in the position of pope as well
Yep.
as king
Yep.
because he was tired of having to execute his wives. And the Pope was not going to let him get divorced. So he's like, fuck you, I'll make my own church, which also led to a lot of the problems between, Britain and Ireland.
Which also it led to the progressivism of Henry because apparently he married a black woman at that time period. Something that, wow, quite,
Are you talking about the Netflix show?
I'm joking, yes, about the Netflix show with Anne Boleyn played by a black woman.
You know what's funny about that is they didn't manage to get any of her other physical traits in there. You think they would with all the diversity and inclusion. The woman had 3 kids and 6 fingers on each hand and webs between her toes. She was a genetic mutant.
Yeah.
Also very white, but whatever.
Yeah, that's not speaking of no, I knew where she was coming from with that one because I was like, yeah, but it immediately clicked because of course Anne Boleyn was race swapped and now we got Cleopatra who's been race swapped.
Yeah, I've gotten some.
And they all under the guise of
diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Which docu-series.
Which really that entire narrative has been broken to no end because when folks are talking about how people were not going to see the Little Mermaid because the character Ariel is played by the black gal, and if you don't go see it, that's racist. But folks have been going to see Spider-Man with a tokenized black Spider-Man.
Yep. You know what's kind of funny? You know what's kind of funny is if they wouldn't have beat us over the head with the whole entire racism from the get-go, the Little Mermaid would probably actually be $150 million more ahead than it is. Well, no, of course, not in China. No, not in China. But you have to realize though that it's not making the money it probably should be even in Europe.
Oh yeah, there is that. Plus they've done so many.
But it's doing real well in the Netherlands.
Yeah, and those lovely creative choices that they made of as you showed, where Ariel's the one who makes the takes the kill shot and changing songs, taking out songs.
Yep.
So I still think even without the DEI push that they did, it would still not be as it may be doing a little better, but it's not going to have legs.
It's not going to have the same legs. I would completely agree because people are all burnt out. But I would go back to the when Brandy played Cinderella, people didn't have a huge problem with that. Nobody cared. You know why? Because quite frankly, you haven't been beating people over the fucking head with it for like the last 8 years with this DEI crap. And you haven't been fucking calling everybody a damn racist who doesn't want to see it.
Well, I think so, but one of the advantages
and then when they don't see it, you call them a racist again.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I think one of the advantages and one of the reasons why Cleopatra is because DEI does, as far as I know, now I haven't been to Egypt in 3 years, doesn't exist in Egypt. Like I was talking to my father about it, right? My father who's been living in this country for decades, and he's like, how is that racist? Like the idea that it's not. It's not. So most nonsense. Egyptians are thinking. Even my mom, the leftist wokey. I love my mom, but dear God, when she started trying to justify some of the worst things possible, I'm like,
what? I have a question.
Yeah.
What did your family, the ones who lean a certain direction, think about the swap of Cleopatra? Did they know anything about it, or have they?
No, my mom. I brought it up. My mom, that's why I was hoping secretly that maybe she would start to wake up to this insanity. My mom was totally into all of it. I mean, look, my mom is trying to justify to me transing kids. Wow. My Muslim mother was trying to justify to me because she's a professor in some college in New York. My mother is the one trying to justify this. The Muslim woman. Yes. I mean, at least my brother... Wow. My brother, when I sent him what is a woman? liked it, and he says that he says that because I focus on the issue, I think that there's more of it happening than there really is. Maybe I am a little biased. My dad is more in the middle. Like,
I think most people are in the middle, but
my
you know,
dad is
a lot of people
registered as
draw the
Republican.
line at rewriting history and screwing with people's kids. I mean, because I had a massive problem with like rewriting history. It's like, well, America's founded on racism. And it's like, not really. The idea of America was not founded on racism because slavery was prominent around the world. Sorry,
Yeah.
guys, it's just
No,
the way
you're
it
right.
is. And
No,
so,
but-
yeah, but like the fact that it's just, yeah, it's
No,
now.
but-
Anyway,
I'm sorry, my dad is a registered Republican and like voted for George Bush both times. But
W or H? W.
right, the one who started the war in Iraq.
Okay, so
H.
Yeah.
Again, W or HW?
Yeah, right.
Problem,
W,
I
H, W.
think one of the problems with my father,
the Gulf War or the war on terrorism?
Go
I
for
think
one
one
or
of my
two.
problems
Yeah.
that my dad has, and like for example, my dad is until recently completely against Tucker Carlson, and it's like, dude, the man changed. It's been 20 years. You don't like Tucker Carlson? Yeah, he apologized. He admitted he said some dumb stuff, because a part of my dad.
Oh my God.
I was not as involved in politics as him, but I could understand it was the Republicans who were very much in support of the war. And there's a lot of things that happened. I saw the war from a different perspective than a lot of other people. I mean, we lived in fear. I don't talk about it a lot because I don't like the victim narrative. But when you're afraid that your emails are being read and you might be dragged to prison for no reason at all that you know of, when you're afraid that, oh, you donated because this happened. There's one charity organization that's meant to feed and help people in Palestine, but they're like, no, it's like, no, we know they don't, but people were dragged to prison. So my dad has some leftover feelings of, at one point, my father's like, if you came to the Republican meetings, he's like, you're more Republican than most of the Republicans at that meeting. You would not be welcome.
I have a question. There's meetings? Because that doesn't sound
the Republican the Republicans to talk about getting people into office and
okay.
Yeah, those kind
Sam,
of meetings.
if
Yes.
you want to share my screen, it actually is relevant. This one.
So
It better not be fucking
but-
Republican.
No,
but
it's
no,
really
but
not.
that's one of the reasons
Look,
why I'm
look. Trending in gaming, leave children alone. 23.7K tweets.
Yes, this is disgusting.
Holy shit, that's significant.
Oh,
For those who
wow,
don't
the game's
Twitter,
on.
those are pretty high numbers on Twitter.
Hold on,
Yeah.
game's on.
Which,
Game's on too. Hang on.
given that 23, was that 223K? You said?
Yeah, almost 24,000 tweets. Are all leave children alone.
Okay, 24,000.
But
Yeah, so
wait.
that's like the size of a small town. So
Yeah.
like this should give you all some idea. Like
Whoa,
the people
wait,
who lose their shit on Twitter and seem to and think that they can like influence shit on Twitter. There's not that many people on Twitter. It's not that.
Yeah.
Right. So based on the number of Twitter
Tweets. Yes.
users, based on the number of Twitter users, that percentage is probably really high.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
No, but you asked me. No, my mom was also very unhappy about it. She was not happy about the Netflix Cleopatra. The lefty was very unhappy of it too, and my father, my whole family. Then they said that I asked them.
Because that's horseshit.
I
Don't
asked
fuck with
them
history.
about. I asked them about family in Egypt because it's hard to coordinate times, and my family in Egypt is the same. They are not happy with it at all. So, and
I
there's
agree
no
with Cole on that.
DEI. So anyway, you wanted to know where my mom is.
No, I really did. Because I mean, obviously that's Cleopatra is an important cultural and historical figure. You can't rewrite this shit. It's stupid. Like what are you gonna, I mean, they wouldn't, but it's like, what are you gonna do next? You're gonna make Adolf Hitler Hispanic?
No.
Like, they
I
will,
know.
but
I
it's
know.
like-
I already know what they're going to do next. I know what they're going to do next.
I mean,
I know
he's
what they're
already
gonna-
a white guy, so they're not
No,
gonna change it. But it's
no,
like,
no.
if he was a Hispanic guy, are they gonna fucking
No.
change it?
I know exactly
in
what they're gonna
1,000
do
years, Netflix is absolutely going to make the story of the underprivileged and misunderstood Nubian woman named Adolf Hitler, who was only trying to improve the world for everyone.
No.
I guarantee it'll
know.
happen because
No.
Netflix has no chill.
You want to know who they're?
Well-
I know exactly. Who they're
Frank
gonna,
Castro.
wait, I know exactly who they're going to do next. Hatshepsut. Hatshepsut was the first female pharaoh of Egypt. Part of being a pharaoh is she wasn't trans, she was a woman, she wasn't trying to be a man, but in order to earn respect in a society where, I hate to break it to you, women were not girl bosses, highly respected, ruling over everybody. No, they weren't.
You know what I think is going to be next? Akhenaten, because
No.
because that's
Akhenaten was a dude.
That Akhenaten,
I know,
but they're
I
going
know
to make
that. But
Hatshepsut a trans.
the thing is though is that he was
Very feminine.
described as what is ambiguous, the best way to put it without
No,
saying
that's recent. That's recent, Ryan. What they're doing is they're taking out of context. The reason that they say that is because he was the one who, I believe, he was the one who insisted that he be portrayed in his imagery or whatever as how he actually looked.
Oh well, I mean, I just
which is to say, not like godly. He was kind of a gawky looking dude with a big Adam's apple. He was fairly skinny. He wasn't stacked like all of the pharaohs of old. Kind of thing. And he insisted on kind of an honesty to his portraiture or whatever. And because of that, they're saying that, oh no, they did him up like a woman because he was secretly trans.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't think that had anything.
I haven't heard anything about the whole trans thing or anything like that. I just heard the fact that the way he is depicted is that he looks very gender neutral. I'm not saying that they said gender
androgynous.
neutral. Androgynous. Thank you.
In a culture where everybody wear fucking eyeshadow. I mean,
I'm just saying the way.
Go to a goth club and
they say that Akhenaten was a very androgynous, and so I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, at least
the next step to try to say.
At least the coal in Egypt serves a purpose. It helps you keep from going blind in the desert.
No, that's
sun.
why. Yeah, that's why. It's one of the few makeups I'm allowed to wear in my hijab.
I'm just saying,
in public.
logically. It's not to mess with another woman. It's to actually go for the whole 9 yards and go for the ambiguous looking one and say they were trans. They're identifying as trans. That's the next logical step. If you
I know, but that's why I'm saying Hatshepsut, because Hatshepsut has a more solid, at least in their case, grounded reason. Because Hatshepsut was presented in some of her statues as a man because that she was the first female pharaoh. They also gave her no. She was actually represented. They have her bare chested without any boobs, without.
I know.
Yeah, so
they had a fake beard that she actually wore on her chin.
Yes.
The thing is though is that trans and non-binary are so popular right now. You would with Akhenaten you can kill two birds with one stone.
That's true.
So that's why I was thinking that. No, I mean you're perfectly right because yes.
Well, the problem is that they're trying to apply modern thinking about idiotic subjects to cultures and peoples of the past who likely didn't think that way at all.
Yeah.
Right. As I said on the stream not too long ago when last year when the movie The Northman came out and folks were getting uptight about the lack of diversity in the cast. And I just said it's 10th century Norway. Yeah. There was no diversity then. Mm-hmm. There's barely any diversity now in Norway.
Yes. No, you're right. And it's messing up with all of our...
Just because Tinkerbell, I actually asked a nice little question here. Does anybody remember a show called The Warrior?
Yeah.
Yes,
that was awesome.
They made a game out of that too eventually, but yeah, the show was okay.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was an interesting show.
Yeah.
I like that.
That was back when it was still on Spike, right? Which
Spike
was
TV,
I
television
love that
for men, which by the way was a direct response to I call it television for victims. What's it called again?
The Hallmark Channel?
Yeah, no, not that one. Not that one. It's not Hallmark.
Oh.
It's
Lifetime?
Yep, that's
Lifetime.
it. Right there.
But I like that
Lifetime
channel.
television for victims.
But I like that channel. What are you,
You know, the
saying
irony
about me?
is that Lifetime actually used to air old episodes of Unsolved Mysteries, which is very
Oh, I love that show.
Yeah, I know, I do too. But it was just kind of ironic. But yeah, the
No, Robert
Lifetime
Stack was
channel.
awesome.
Oh,
Wait, do you
fucking
know-
incredible.
You know the origin of the word alcohol, right? Is from the eye makeup worn by Egyptians. Alcohol.
I
Yeah.
had no idea.
They
I really didn't know
used
that one.
alcohol to make that eye makeup, and so it was alcohol. It came from alcohol.
Is that why it always had like the little flare out because they were crying? I just joke, but
We don't cry in Egypt.
I mean, I think that's only because it's a waste of water.
Yes, it's a waste of water.
You know.
So basically you're the Fremen.
Well, Arabs are the Fremen
Right.
are Arabs. They're space Arabs.
I know this.
They're
we talked about a shitload of different topics tonight. I got to be honest.
we did.
We covered all the way from Star Trek to ancient Egypt. That's quite the panel.
Yeah, we did. I think we're probably call it here. We're coming up on 3 hours as of right now.
Yep.
And that's right. I was looking at the timer. I watched it turn over.
Yeah,
It's
and
kind
I
of like
gotta-
when you're watching your odometer, right? And
Yeah.
you know it's gonna like hit that like cool number where it's all nines or all zeros or some shit.
Oh,
You
yes.
take your eyes off it for a second so that you don't hit something, and you turn back and it's fucking.
Damn
you
it.
missed it.
Yes.
Yeah, I had an ex-girlfriend get mad at me because my car turned over to 100,000 miles during a serious conversation. She had like a bad day, and I was like, "Oh, 100,000 miles!" You know, because we'd been talking about like the day before, and she got mad at me over that. She's like,
Why? That's awesome.
because she had a bad day and she was talking about her feelings.
She wants is
Oh.
the women the women when women don't want to talk about their day, they really don't want to talk. They want you to just pay attention.
Yeah. So the fact that I even like just
Oh.
I had like I broke off for the conversation because men can actually think about different things at once every once in a while. Yeah, she got mad at me. She's like, I don't feel like. She's like, yeah, it was anyway. Not gonna talk. About it. Yeah. Anyway,
Don't do that.
How is it you guys manage to confuse me every time?
I
about
was like
my
25
own
though.
sex?
I was like 20. I was probably younger than that. I was probably like 20.
I don't mean
24.
any offense to you at all, Kat, by this, but you're not like the most girly girl.
No.
Exactly.
In fact, on the contrary, when I have conversations with family members, I am more in the emotional stuff kind of. I'm not.
Psycho. Just kidding.
Let's just say
let me put it this way: there's a good chance that I've probably dated more women than you have.
I'm straight.
That's my point.
Right.
I've had more experience with this kind of thing than you have.
Yeah, no, that was my first serious.
I'm not talking
relationship.
about
Got
like
mad.
anything sexual. I just mean like in dealing with women, especially in emotionally involved circumstances, like for example, a relationship. I have more experience in that realm than the hijabi gamer does because you're straight, because this is not something that you normally expose yourself to. So I would imagine that's probably why it catches it off guard. Because like you don't hang out with a lot of girls, right?
Mugsykins?
Right. Mugsykins is a soldier.
But Mugsykins is awesome. I like hanging out with
I'm not
Mugsy.
saying that Mugsykins is not awesome, but Mugsykins is a soldier. She's kind of hardcore. You know?
Right. So basically, you do not hang out with what would be considered the norm for the women.
You don't hang out with girly girls.
They're boring. Why would I want to do that?
Yeah, there goes anyway. We want something to dump, someone to dump everything on. Well, I was more excited about the 100,000 miles on my car.
And I'm with you. That's awesome. Did you take a picture?
Right.
I
know
did,
you're driving. You can't. That's dangerous.
No, well, we were.
I would have stopped on the side of the road, pulled
to
out my
where
phone, clicked a picture, and then sent it to everyone. Be like, check it out, 100,000 miles.
I did take a picture after the fact because we're close to where I lived. But yeah, she was mad at me. She was mad at me because I wasn't listening to her bad day.
Oh.
Yeah, that's always an issue. Especially
in my
if you're
defense,
dating your dude. Yeah.
In our defense, as I was 24, she was 21. We were idiots, you know. So it's like, We were young kids.
Please,
We
like
were...
that changes even if you add a couple decades onto it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It does make it worse though when they're younger.
It just means that your body hurts more when you try certain things. That's all the
Right.
difference is in age.
That's
it.
You're not wrong.
You're just not as flexible as you used to be, and when you fall down, you might not be getting back up.
Samuel, the fact that you and I are both giants, we're not flexible in the first place.
I used to be.
Well, I mean,
those goth girls, it's those goth girls, huh, Sam?
They'll stretch you in ways that.
Oh yeah.
I feel like I'm listening to something dirty, but I don't realize that I'm listening to something dirty.
Kind of, yeah, a little bit.
Sam and I have a certain predilection to one particular type of.
I would say that Joker voice. I have a wider range of women I'm attracted to, but I have dated a few goth girls. And
wait, I gotta answer this. Dempsey, 99,999.9 is definitely way cooler than 100,000. If you manage to get it to stop at that and take a picture of that, that would be wicked awesome.
Yeah, I tried, and I fucking blinked because there was a stop sign. And I looked up, and I had to do a thing, and I blinked and looked down, and oh my god, it rolled over to 100,000, which is cool, but it wasn't as cool as it would have been had I, I get it, dude. It's a small town too. I was only going like a half a mile an hour. So, but that said, I think we are probably going to bring the show to a close. We're over 3 hours now, as I stated before, and it's I think it's been a pretty good one, pretty productive. We covered a lot of ground today. Appreciate everybody for showing up in chat on multiple channels, actually, which I think is going to be a more regular thing. We're going to do this more regularly, just to kind of get our voices out there a little bit more, expose ourselves to the world.
Not that way.
I'm not wearing any pants. I don't know what you're fucking talking about.
Let's see what's going on.
Sit the fuck down, pervert.
Okay, Kevin.
I think I'm wearing pants. Yeah, I'm wearing my favorite hat.
I'm wearing basketball shorts. That's all I wear anymore is fucking basketball shorts.
Basketball shorts.
He's wearing shorts.
That's what we called them. Well, at least when I was younger. You got fucking basketball shorts on.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yes, Clue. Which, if you,
absolutely,
you got to be on the panel though. But yeah.
Well, it helps if you're, at the start. So like if there's ever a time.
Oh my
God, Dempsey, you're not wearing pants. Sorry.
I came in late, so that's why I didn't simulcast from my channel. So
short answer, Dempsey, no.
Yes.
But yeah, so we'll be doing more of that and all that stuff. So let's go around hard. JB, what do you got coming up?
Working on my notes for last week's news now. My Monday show. Tomorrow night I will be on one of the Red 5 network channels. I will be on Dork Wars, talking with Blake. We're going to be talking about James Gunn, his move away from the House of Mouse, going across the street, working with WB and his plans for the DCU once this writers and potentially actor strike is all taken care of.
Nice,
cool.
And then on the Wednesday, I'll be dropping my review of Transformers: Rise of the Beasts. And then Monday, with this guy over here, we'll be talking Game of Thrones. We have gone through 3 seasons now, and we'll be at season 4, episode 1.
Yes, indeed. I guess it's my turn. So he already mentioned Monday, Game of Thrones, season 4, episode number 1. That would be 8 p.m. Eastern, and it's going to be 5 p.m. Pacific time. Then tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's going to be 2 p.m. Mountain Time for Samuel. We will be doing Picard, season 3, episode number 6. Review that usually goes for about 3 hours as well. Horny Alf can't make it this time. He has to work, but the Renaissance Nerd will be joining us, so that'll be fun. And then, of course, you hop all the way to next Friday night's Royal Rumble, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's me.
Your turn, Kat.
All right, Ryan, if you want to join us, if you actually are going to play Warframe, I live stream Warframe every Sunday. And it is cross-platform. Mugsikins is on PC, UA is on PC, Mia and Behemoth are on, and Alexia are on Xbox. So join us if you'd like.
You guys play multiplayer where you like deathmatch, right?
No, we don't. We play PvE. There isn't. The multiplayer is called Conclave. Nobody plays Conclave. Nobody plays Conclave. It's so broke. I've heard it's broken, but it's just. I mean, you have like 50 different Warframes. They can't balance it. Yeah, nobody plays Conclave. But yeah, I'll put a link to the Discord in the chat if you are interested. So tomorrow, yeah, I will be live streaming Warframe, which is awesome. It's free. Long live the corpus. On a Thursday, me and Shadow have Merry Madness. It will probably be on my channel. The time varies because of his work. Friday is Friday night's Royal Rumble with this guy, and then back to Saturday again. In addition, I'm thinking of making a video about Ms. Marvel, and I'm looking into if it's possible to unbox stuff and get tax. What is the term? The tax
write-off?
Not tax. Yeah, not tax write-off.
Exception.
Not exception. It starts with a D.
Deductions.
Yes.
That's a tax write-off.
Yeah. For if I use stuff for my YouTube channel, so like if I unbox stuff.
Do you have a what is it? What is it? Fuck. Do you have a business license?
No, but I do pay. But I do pay taxes for my YouTube channel.
Do you? Okay,
yes.
Then yes.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can write off anything that's in that screen. Behind you.
Okay, yeah. As long as you're paying taxes on, then yes, you can.
Yeah, because
it's part of your setup. It's part of your
Awesome. So I'm going to be getting the Asus ROG Ally, so I can write it off as a tax write-off.
Yeah. Cool.
I'm also playing on every video game I get for this year. I will live stream it at least once.
No, fair enough. So that concludes the around the horn portion of the show. Just like I'm Samuel the Infamous. This is my channel. The links for everybody who's on panel and a few people who aren't are in the description below. Later, I will add in the links that I mentioned at the top of the show. I have not done that yet. I'll get to that at some point this evening. And all that. This show is on every Saturday, same roughish time, 4-ish p.m. Mountain Time every Saturday. Do a show on Friday nights with my co-host Lawrence Knight and Know Me Without You, called Abyssal Musings at approximately 9:30 p.m. Mountain Time every week. And Sundays is Star Trek Sundays, doing like we said, but like Ryan said, I am just fading. I mean, I'm sorry, guys. If it sounds like I'm fading out, it's because I am. I don't know why I'm so tired.
Just real quick, Samuel, do we want to unveil the new name tomorrow?
Yeah, let's do it on the show.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah, I just want to check.
So,
I'll use the.
I kind of like to do it when Alpha's there, but whatever.
Well, we can ask him if he's okay with it.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like he's not going to be here this week. I'm probably not going to make the next one because it's my daughter's birthday that day. So.
You bitch.
So, I'm gonna go spend time with her instead of a bunch of hairy dudes on the internet.
God, jeez, what fucking priorities, man? Come on, fucking Star Trek. Let's go.
Yeah. So
like, fuck that.
Look, how many episodes has Alf missed versus how many have I missed?
Oh, I know. I'm just fucking with you. I like that. Primal's like, do it live. We're gonna do it live.
Yeah. So we'll do that. But anyway, that said, remember everybody that I am indeed your new presidential candidate. I'm just throwing this up there one last time for the show. Keep that in mind at all times.
You need me for your vice presidential candidate.
Squatch Treat keeps trying to pair me up with Omicron.
Nah, you need me. It's the diversity thing. Come on, you get the lefties on your side.
Yeah, like
You need
lefties,
to
Oh, wait.
think from the
lefties.
lefties
I don't
right
want the
now.
lefties on my side. That's the whole.
Given
That's the
the
whole point.
Armenian.
Actually, no. I just realized you won't get the lefties on your side because I'm a MAGA white supremacist now.
Yeah, yeah. You're whiter than I am at this point.
Woohoo! White guys aren't the most racist right now.
No. And that said,
It's Muslims now.
I guess
Yay.
unless anybody else has anything they want to say, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Remember, everybody, could always be worse.
See ya.
Could be raining flaming covers. Have a great night.
Toodles.
Save the red full screen.
Well, I say every day it's a getting closer.